portion of the Subway pregame show when you return. It's the Colonels and the Red Devils on 105.5 KD Country.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1909, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in, bring the family and see your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Compassionate Care Choices, Autumn Care, 24-hour skilled nursing, inpatient, outpatient, physical, occupational, and speech therapies. Autumn Care invites you to tour their facility in 2016, receiving the Bronze Quality by the American Healthcare Association. 5-star rating by Centers for Medicare, Medicaid Services. Autumn Care, a member of Sabre Healthcare Group, serving Altavista and surrounding areas since 1989.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Subway pregame show returns. We're getting ready for the Altavista Colonels hosting the Rustburg Red Devils. Our broadcast is made possible by Fellers Chevrolet, now offering a 10-year, 100-mile powertrain warranty. The First National Bank helping you bring home more bacon. English's, your complete home center, now offering a complete line of Carhartt clothing, and they've got some women's selections too, Dave. We'll talk about that as the broadcast goes on. Napa Auto Parts of Altavista. Find your Napa know-how on Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador, Altavista's original Mexican restaurant. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, best deals on wheels. English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. PCM Industrial Services, now with mobile welding and repair service. Moose Family Center. Visit the Altavista Moose Family Center to join and be a Moose. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. The Altavista Office of Economic Development, we invite you to come find one of a kind. PCM Industrial, I already said that. Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. Highview Motors, GMC, from small to tall, Highview has it all. Autumn Care of Altavista, specializing in 24-hour skilled nursing care, also physical, speech, and occupational therapy. And D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. Call Donnie at 841-1580. That's 841-1580. Remember, you can hear pretty much any Colonels game in the past 4 or 5 years on demand at the KD Country YouTube page. That is courtesy of Fellers Chevrolet. You can go to kdcountry.com. Just click the YouTube link on the left. Dave, I was listening to those 3 Rustburg Altavista games that we've had in the last 3 years. That was a nice way to brush up on at least some of the guys we're going to see here tonight. Obviously, some folks have moved on, but pretty good ball game last year. It was a 30-7 win for Rustburg. The game back in 2013, very close. Altavista 24-21 on the late Walker Allen field goal to win it. Only real blowout in there was 2014 when the Colonels won 34-0. But if history is any indication, if the first 3 weeks of this season are any indication, it looks like we're shaping up for a good game.
I think so. The records aside, these two teams, of course, are county rivals, so this is a big deal to both schools, and they're out here tonight. A good cheering section on hand for the Altavista Colonels. The stands pretty much full by the looks of it on the Colonels side of things. Over on the far side, the Rustburg fans could still get here late, but just a kind of a light crowd for Rustburg being so close. Maybe they're listening to the radio.
I hope they are tuned in. Hopefully they're on their way down. But if they're not going to make it to the game, stay with us all night. We know we got some other very good games out there. If you're bouncing around or you're going to go to a game, just check in with us and see how things are going. You're right. It is a bit more of a thin crowd for Rustburg than I would have imagined, considering the magnitude of this ball game. Both teams are assembled at midfield for the coin toss. The rest of the Colonels Club is in the right end zone waiting to break through their banner. The Rustburg Red Devils already on their sideline. You can tell they're excited. Both teams demonstrative, easy for me to say, and showing some body language. Everybody's fired up.
A lot of red and white over there on the far sidelines. The Rustburg Red Devils have brought a big contingent of players out tonight, and the Red Devils will receive. The Colonels will kick off to start the game. The Colonels will start on our right, or the scoreboard end of the stadium, and go toward Bedford Avenue. The Red Devils, of course, with Bedford Avenue to their backs, will head toward the scoreboard to open the first quarter.
Red Devils do have large numbers over there on the sidelines. The roster is pretty full for Rustburg. They're clad in the white jerseys, white helmet with the red R, red pants. Altavista sporting the orange jerseys tonight with black pants, black helmet with the orange A, orange and white piping down the side of the pants. It's a good look for Altavista, and they've got a bunch of different combos that they can go with. I think in the 5 home games, they could probably wear something different every time between the orange and the black and the white pants.
Good spirit line for the Colonels out there as Colonels come through. Those Rustburg Red Devils 3rd and 4th teamers must think they're going to get some action here tonight. They're hoping, I'll bet.
I bet you got to be hoping that if you're a football player anyway. That's the idea, right? Let me get in there and mix it up a little bit. A nice rendition of the national anthem from the Altavista Colonels marching band under the direction of Mario Ruiz. The Colonels did win the toss, and they are going to defer. More shout-outs to come, Dave, of course. We got a lot of folks listening and a lot of folks here. And I've been looking forward to this one for a while. This is, with all due respect to the Central Lunenburgs of the world and Prince Edward and Greensville County, it's a little something extra when you're playing your county rival like this.
Yeah, and I think this will be a good test for the Altavista Colonels. 3-0, you say they're pretty good. Let's see how good. And the Rustburg Red Devils, of course, want to maintain their momentum after last week's victory, too.
Great way to phrase it there. I think you just phrased it perfectly. You think you're pretty good? Let's see how good. Push the chips into the middle of the pile, and let's flip the hands over and see who's got the biggest flush or the biggest full house in here. Colonels have pretty much a full house in the cheering section, some of them on their feet already. Nick Boley has the ball on the tee. He's ready for the run-up, and we're just about to be underway here. Friday night football between the Rustburg Red Devils and the Altavista Colonels.
Dante Jones back deep for Rustburg. It comes to this side of the field, takes a couple of bounces, picked up by number 1.
That's Laverne Jenkins. He started outside. Now he's back inside between the hash mark. Meets a big mass of bodies there for the Colonels. Jacob Adams was on the scene. Also Chancellor Mormon down there in a hurry. And Jordan Spinner as well combining on the stop. It's a decent return. Rustburg will scrimmage from their own 24-yard line, the near side hash mark. It'll be 1st and 10 Red Devils with just 7 seconds gone in the English's first quarter.
And Jenkins tried to come back up the middle. The Colonels plugged it up real good. Otherwise, he would, if he would have stayed outside where he picked up the ball along the hash mark on this side, he might have gained more yardage, but had no blocking there.
Shotgun formation, shotgun spread. 2 wide receivers to each side. The back is to Dante Jones left. He wants to run that way, and he wants to throw. He's a right-handed thrower, throwing against the grain, drops it out on the far sideline. It's complete for first down yardage, shoved out of bounds by a trio of Colonel tacklers. The receiver looked to be number 3, it was number 2, Landon Tucker on the catch there, and it's a first down for Rustburg.
He was all alone along the Rustburg sideline there, and Jones took his time to find him.
It was an interesting play. Jones rolled out to the left, and the defense couldn't find him. Here's another complete pass on that far sideline. First tackle was missed by Pinnell, and then 4 or 5 Colonels team up on the stop. That was to Warren Lambert. So Dante Jones already 2 for 2 in the passing column. It's 2 short ones, but they work very effectively. That was a 6-yard pickup.
He threw a lot of short passes last week, too, against Allegheny.
Gosh, you are good. Did you study some game tape? 3 receivers to the right. We'll get to that in a second. Handoff. Here's the first running play for Rustburg. Ball carrier tried to cut it back on the inside behind the center. Not a whole lot doing there. That was Shamar Johnson. Stopped by Stephen Farmer. Also, it looked like Josh McClure in there to help out on the stop.
Colonel's doing a good job of plugging up the middle as Farmer comes in and McClure from their linebacker spots to make the stop.
No gain there. It'll bring up third, and we'll call it a long 3. First third down situation for either ball club. It's the opening drive for the Red Devils. We're 10:48 into the game, still no score. Here comes the shotgun snap. Jones wants to run right. This one a design quarterback keeper. Started inside, bounced outside. Yellow flag came out. Didn't get the first down anyway. Jacob Adams popped him in the shoulder pads and dropped him to the turf. I think the flag's probably going to end up being holding too, Dave, don't you? It's just in that area.
It is in that area, and they threw it as the play came this way. So good chance. Jones was close to the first down, but a nice stop by Jacob Adams to bring him up a little bit short.
Looks like the Colonels are going to accept it. It'll bring up third. Let's see where the stick ends up moving. It depends on where the penalty was. 3rd and 11 is what the officials let us know about. And Dave Haney's going to do his best Oscar Briggs impression and write down all the penalties. If we don't have as many as last week, you'll be in decent shape.
I'll run out of paper if that happens again.
Ink, paper, be carving it in stone. Here comes another 3rd down situation. 10:26 left to play in the first quarter. Jones wants to pass. It's a little screen pass to the middle of the field, and it's complete to number 3, Isaiah Dixon. Dixon shaking off tacklers. He's across the first down marker, now dropped at the 50-yard line. Interesting play there, and interesting the way it developed slowly. Nice soft touch by Jones just to drop it over the top of the rushers into Dixon's hands.
That was a good screen play that set up the Rustburg run there, and the ball carrier dragged several people with him for the last 5 yards. Good determination.
Red Devils snap it from the 50-yard line. Handoff play goes to Johnson. Good surge up the middle. It was just an inside trap kind of a play, and he managed to get 6 yards out of it before the momentum was slowed. 10 minutes left to play in the first. Still no score. Opening drive for the Red Devils.
Johnson is 5'8" and 185 pounds, so he might be kind of hard to find behind those big linemen.
You can tell he's got some speed for sure. Shotgun formation again from the middle of the field. They're in Colonel's territory on the 44-yard line. They give to Johnson again. He shook off one tackler, bounced off another. Gilbert had his pads on him but couldn't bring him down, and Johnson races ahead across for a first down.
Nice spin move by Johnson there to get the first down yardage as he dived forward across the Altavista 40.
Altavista uses that running back by committee, Dave, but it would appear that Shamar Johnson is the feature back for the Red Devils. He hasn't made a look at that sideline yet, and he's staying in there. Colonel show blitz. They hand it to Johnson again. Johnson off left tackle, cuts it back. Now he's thrown down at the far side numbers near the first down marker, but he's going to be at least 2 yards short. Probably going to bring up 2nd and 8 for Red Devils.
He probably would have had the first down, but he ran into the back of his own blocker there, and then the Colonel's pursuit managed to catch up with him as he bounced away.
2nd and 7, more like it. Colonel's hustling in some defensive substitutions. 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. That's the right. Jones looks over there. Now he wants to throw down the left sideline. Ball hanging up in the air. It was just out of reach of the outstretched arms. They were looking for Warren Lamberts down that far sideline. Shaheem Pennell was in coverage, but a good throw on the money probably would have burned the Colonels for some yardage there.
Well, Lambert got off the line of scrimmage real quickly over there. I thought there could have been a flag, but none came out.
Lamberts did make a nice break out of there, and actually they're stepping off some yardage. Maybe you called it. Maybe he got off the line of scrimmage too soon. Repeat 2nd down. I think you nailed it right there on the head, Dave. So it's probably a design passing play to Lamberth where he's the only option. He knows that, and you just tend to get a little antsy in those situations.
And it could loosen up the Colonel's defense.
We've played 3 minutes and change here from Altavista High School. Still no score. It's the opening Rustburg Red Devil drive. Here comes the handoff to Johnson again. Right up the middle behind the center. He beats a bunch of bodies there. Some Colonels, some of his own. Does manage to gain about 4 on the 2nd down play, so we'll call this 3rd and 5 now. Traquan Farmer credited with the stop.
Johnson just gets in behind his lineman and pushes forward right on their tails. Picked up those 4 yards.
It takes a lot of discipline to run that, because I think the natural tendency for a speedster like that is to break it outside towards one of the sidelines. Here comes 3rd and 5. Red Devils went with a hard snap count. Now it looks like Dante Jones might be changing the play. Soft snap, hits him in the chest. He hands off to Johnson again. No, he kept it himself. Boy, that was sneaky. I thought he gave it up, but Jones kept it. Eventually, he's run out of bounds around the 24-yard line. Fooled me on the ball carrying, though.
That was very good deception. You're right. I thought Johnson was going up the middle again, and Johnson keeps it and rolls to the left.
Johnson sold the fake very well, too, just by plunging into the heart of that line exactly like he had been doing. First down here for the Rustburg Red Devils. They're 2 for 2 on 3rd downs this drive.
Good drive going for the Red Devils.
Great way to open up for Rustburg. Johnson has it again, this time hit by Stephen Farmer. Farmer's not letting go on the 20-yard line, but it's still a gain of 4 there as Johnson rode down to the turf.
Good tackle by Stephen, and Johnson did a nice job running there. He sidestepped one man and bounced to the outside and picked up that extra yardage.
Those Colonel linebackers are really going to be called on to make a whole lot of stops. 3 receivers to the right side again. 7:50 left to play in the first. Still no score. Jones looks over the defense. Oh, lost the snap, but it bounced right back to him. He's going to keep it himself. He's off right tackle. He was racing towards the end zone, but Christian Gilbert made a shoestring grab to pull him down at the 7-yard line. They may spot it closer to the 6 or the 5.
Well, that saved a touchdown for the Altavista Colonels, but the Rustburg Red Devils methodically moving down the field against Altavista.
Sure is. It's another first down. They've racked up 5 first downs on this drive alone. 1st and goal from the 7-yard line. Jones, 5 yards behind the center, awaits the shotgun snap. Wants to throw. Wings it out in the flat. Nearly picked off by Matt Aiken, and it bounces onto the turf. You could almost argue that it was offensive pass interference by Isaiah Dixon, because he really just had to grab a hold of Aiken when he saw that Aiken was nearly going to pick that off, and he might have taken it to full distance.
He was well inside of the receiver, had perfect position, and it would have been a long return if he'd have gathered that ball in.
As it is, it's an incomplete pass, and it brings up 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line. Rustburg's just right of center here. Got the whole field to work with. They hand it off to Johnson again. Johnson around left tackle. Cuts it up inside. He slipped down at the 3-yard line. He might have had end zone possibilities there if he could have maintained his footing. It's still a nice gain. It'll bring it to 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line.
Johnson just tried to make the cut there for the end zone, and his feet went out from under him, but the Red Devils keep moving the ball, and they are driving.
See if the Colonels D can get a big stop here. They need it. Just under 7 to play in the first quarter. Here's a snap. Jones right up the middle. Dives. He's in for 6. Touchdown Rustburg on the opening drive. It's a 2-yard scoring run from the quarterback, Dante Jones, to cap off one of the better drives we've seen in a while, Dave. Methodically marching down 76 yards to open up.
And Jones went in standing up against the Colonels' defense. You get 215-pounder just right up the middle.
Hard to stop a guy like that has speed, size. He can throw the ball. He makes good decisions with the ball. Add in that fancy ball handling. He's a serious threat. The extra point is no good. Pulled it to the left, so it'll stay at a 6-0 lead. It'll be Colonels football with 6:50 left to play in the first quarter when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista High School football is brought to you by Steve Farmer Auto Sales. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. And they're priced right with financing available. See Steve Farmer Auto Sales, 1112 Main Street, Altavista. The next time you get ready to make a change. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, best deals on wheels.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
An impressive way to start the football game for the Rustburg Red Devils. Dave, it was a mix of runs from the quarterback, runs from Shamar Johnson, the running back, some passing plays in there. I think the only time they lost yards were on those penalties that they had, and that didn't set them back too much.
6:50 left in the first quarter. That drive consumed, out of the 12 minutes, consumed over 5 minutes of play. So one way to keep the explosive Altavista offense off the field is to play good offense yourself by Rustburg.
Sure, ball control type of offense there from the Red Devils. Now, I mean, if the Rustburg Red Devils had broken a long one and scored quickly, I don't think Jack Baker would have refused the points or anything, but it is nice to eat up a bunch of clock. Here comes the run-up for the Red Devils. It's booted away, and it'll land on about the 6-yard line. Colonel return men tried to field it together. It ends up in Jacob Adams' hands. He breaks one tackle. He's across the 25, the 30, thrown down at the 36-yard line. Just a good return there after the initial miscommunication. I think it was like when a fly ball goes up in the outfield and multiple players run under it, but fortunately the Colonels handled it well.
And Adams did a nice job of seeing the field. He found a little lane here along the left side of the Colonels' offense and cut through there, and with his speed picked up some good return yardage for the Colonels.
Colonels will start this drive on their own 36-yard line with 6:43 left to play, and the English is your complete home center. First quarter. Mateo Malback is the key man at quarterback for the Altavista Colonels. He wants to pass on first down. Rolls out to his left, complete to Jordan Spinner. Spinner catches on the 40-yard line and turns it up, thrown backwards, but he'll get forward progress to at least the 41 or the 42-yard line. Nice way to open up there on a quick hitting pass play from one senior to another, number 22, Jordan Spinner on the catch.
Kind of between the 41 and 42-yard line of Altavista here against the Red Devils' 4-2 defense.
Colonels trail 6-0 in the home orange jerseys. They're working right to left from Dave and I's perspective. McClure's in there as a blocking back behind left tackle. Here comes the shotgun snap, handoff play on first down. On second down, Montague gets ahead for 4 yards all the way to the 45-yard line. And the Colonels will have 3rd and 1 on the opening drive here with 5:50 left to play in the first quarter.
And some good blocking there by Josh McClure.
They'll hand it off. They'll run the same play. This time, Montague's got a first down and a little bit more. Tried to put a little stop move there on the near sideline at the 45-yard line and cut back inside, but he couldn't. Either way, it's a first down pickup for the Altavista Colonels. It'll move the chains. With 5:38 left to play in the first quarter, they trail 6-0.
And a big burst there by the 205-pounder Montague around the left side to pick up that first down.
It's the Colonels' opening drive. Montague is out. Pennell is in. 2 wide receivers to each side for the Colonels. They'll snap this ball from the near side hash mark. Wide side of the field is the right. Malback wants to run that way on a rollout pass. Right-handed pass is incomplete. He was looking for Matt Aiken on a little out route. Aiken ran it well, but just couldn't reel the football in. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And Aiken knows he missed it. He smacks his helmet with his hands there as the ball goes incomplete for Altavista.
Colonels look to the sideline here. The Rustburg crowd did build over there in the far stands, Dave, like we thought it would. It's not to capacity, but it's a good crowd.
I'd say more than half full on a nice night to watch football compared to last week.
Yeah, it was hot last week. It was hot week 1. When you come, you bring the mild weather, too. That's another reason.
I do what I can.
Shotgun formation for the Colonels from the Rustburg 43-yard line. Here comes the snap. Malback fields chest high. Hands off to Shaheem Pennell. Pennell was almost off to the races there. He got across the 40-yard line. Dragged down by a pair of Rustburg tacklers. One of them, number 44, Seth Baker. The other, Laverne Jenkins.
A high tackle for Rustburg, but he rode Pennell to the ground there on a short gain.
It almost had the appearances of maybe a face mask or a horse collar, but I think it was just the force of Baker bringing Pennell to the turf with a little bit of help. Colonels will have another crack at a 3rd down conversion. They're 1 for 1 on this drive. It's their opening football drive of the ball game. Malback has the offense set where he needs him to be. Goes with the hard snap count, and it worked. Boy, the Colonels have used that to their great effectiveness for not just this season, but about ever since Mike Sharness has been here.
Yeah, I remember calling a few of those himself.
A great way to get 5 free yards just by changing the snap count, using your voice to draw the defense offside. Still 3rd down, though, but it's 3rd and 1.
Much easier.
Got every play in your playbook now. You can just charge up the middle if you want to, and it looks like that's what the Colonels will do. This is Pennell. Darts back inside after starting outside. Cuts it up across the 30-yard line. That's more than enough for a Colonels first down. Looked like Pennell was going to break that one again, but they'll settle for the first down, and the chains move with 4:39 left to play.
He was close, used some nice moves to get around the left side and pick up the first down easily for Altavista.
Pennell is so shifty, so dangerous with the speed. And he seems to stay fresh because there's a whole contingent of Colonel running backs, and we get to see the third one in the rotation here. That's Christian Gilbert. Not necessarily third in line, but the third one to go in tonight. Gilbert will set up just off Malbach's left hip. Here comes the shotgun snap on first down. They'll hand it to Gilbert. Not much blocking, but he cut it back inside and found something. I mean, there were two Rustburg free hitters just right there, had Gilbert in their sights, and he managed to make a miss and pick up he got it back to the line of scrimmage.
Turned what could have been a disaster at least into no gain.
That's exactly right. Under 4 minutes to play now in the first quarter. It's a 6-0 Rustburg lead. If you joined us late, it was a Dante Jones 2-yard touchdown run after a very solid opening drive from the Red Devils.
The Colonel's main three running backs have got pretty similar yardage through the first 3 games of the season.
It's a pretty interesting format, the way they do it. We'll talk about it more as the game goes on. Here comes another passing play. Malbach rolls out to his left, thrown down. No, he stays on his feet. Don't know how he did. He's got some room to run there on the right side. Now, he's not down yet. He will finally go down. You got to give Malbach high marks for just staying on his feet as long as he could and keeping the play alive. Nobody ever materialized to throw it to, so it does end up being a sack and about a 7-yard loss.
A long run for Mateo Malbach. He started left, ended up going to his right, and spun away from tacklers at the initial in the pocket, and then got out to the right side. They had him around the ankles, and he still was fighting for yardage, just couldn't quite get free.
Call that man Houdini, at least on that play. Brings up 3rd and long for the Colonels. Call it 3rd and 16. Malbach taking his time, breathing a little heavy after the long run. He wants to pass again. Rolls to the left, now stops, turns, throws back over the middle. Incomplete. Pass was a little bit high. He may have been searching for Jamelin Jones on the slant route over the middle.
Well, this could bring up a punt for the Colonels.
It's an interesting situation. It does look like Malbach will drop deep and go into the punting formation. They're punting this ball. Well, they're going to snap the ball from the Rustburg 35-yard line. Malbach will punt it probably from around the 50-yard line.
The incomplete pass stops the clock with 2:45 to go in the first quarter.
It's a 6-0 Colonel deficit. Isaiah Dixon is the return man for the Red Devils. He stands on the far hash mark. Snap is a little high. Not much of a rush, though, from Rustburg. Line drive kick. Dixon fields on the 9-yard line. Starts all the way to his right. He's got some room to run. Pinnell dove out there to bring him down. That's a nice athletic play from Shaheem Pinnell, especially when Dixon is going full speed. Pinnell had the angle and just laid out and got enough of him to bring him down.
Dixon did a good job of taking that line drive and running away from the defenders that were closing in on him back at about the 10-yard line. So luckily Pinnell for Altavista got him here along the sidelines.
We've got an early shout out to our dear friends, the Chatham golf team. Chad Anderson has the boys tuned in, and it's getting to be tournament time for some of these golf teams. I believe Altavista's got their conference tournament a week from Monday. I think Chatham has the conference tournament next week. So better sink some extra putts, boys. Here comes first down running play from Dante Jones. Jones started up the middle. Now he's headed to the far sideline. He's got plenty of room over there. Now brought down for a 13-yard gain. Dante Jones, it's rare to see, at least at this level, Dave. You see it in the NFL, but it's rare to see a 215-pounder with those kind of wheels.
I was just going to say the Red Devils have been able to run wide when they want to, and then every once in a while they go up the middle. So it's a good inside-outside game for Rustburg on the ground.
Multiple threats for the Red Devils in every way. They'll hand it off to Johnson this time. He's up the middle, trying to bob and weave his way out of some tackles. He did manage to forge ahead. Looked like he was only going to get about 2 yards. He ended up getting 6 or 7 out of it. He's finally thrown down by a host of Colonels. It looked like Aaron Close and Traquan Farmer getting off the pile last, so we'll give them credit for the tackle.
Yeah, I think there was 4 or 5 guys in there. Lawrence Galliard, one of the other ones for the Altavista defense.
2nd and 2 for the Red Devils. Middle of the field with 1:48 left to play in the English is your complete home center first quarter. Red Devils already lead 6-0. Jones searching for a hole. He found it. He's across the 50. Now the 40. The football came out late. Jones was on the turf, though. That ball's on the ground. That's going to be Rustburg football. What a move there by Jones at the end of it. He tried a spin move, and he got hit as he did.
Yeah, Christian Gilbert got him. And when he hit the ground, the ball was already loose. So the Colonels, in a game that we said turnovers would be important, the first one comes Altavista's way.
Well, it's still Rustburg football here.
Oh, all right.
Jones was down.
So they say he was on the ground.
He was on the ground when the football came out. Of course, we don't have instant replay. 3 receivers to the left. Jones will hand it off to number 32. It's a fresh back, Trey Tucker. Tucker spinning his way out of tackles, hit around the 30-yard line and forced up ahead to the 25 or 26 or 27 rather. It's a nice pickup on first down, though. It'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Red Devils here with just over a minute left to play in the first quarter.
Tucker had 60 yards on the ground last week for the Red Devils against Allegheny.
So we said that Shamar Johnson might be the feature back, but he's not the only back for the visitors. Running play again for Dante Jones. Oh, he just leaped over a diving Mateo Malback. Now he'll get spun down near the 22-yard line. Still enough for a first down, though. I mean, you feel like holding them to a 2 or 3 yard gain is a win for the defense, but Rustburg just continues to churn out yards.
Mateo got just a little bit of the legs of Jones, and that might have slowed him up enough for the rest of the pursuit to get there, but he is very quick for the 215 pounds that he carries.
It was fun to watch, and that's something a ball carrier can pick up from watching film. You see that, hey, this guy likes to tackle low, this guy likes to tackle high, etc. Comes a handoff to Trey Tucker. He's got some yards. He's across the 15, stumbling forward to the 10 and now to the 5-yard line. It's another Red Devil first down. Just the yards easy to come by right now for the Red Devils. Give the Colonels defense some credit. They're limiting the big play, but Rustburg having no problem gaining yardage on the ground.
Trey Tucker at 5'8" is just a freshman from Rustburg.
Wow. They'll remember that name next year and for years to come. He's still in the backfield, set up to Jones's right. It's 1st and goal from the 6. They hand it off to Tucker again. Started outside, went back in behind the center. He's close to the goal line. No signal yet from the official. I think the Colonels D managed to just keep him out, although the Red Devils clearly knocking on the door again here.
The Rustburg Red Devils pounding away on the inside. The Colonels stiffen there down by the goal line, but I'm sure the Rustburg Red Devils will attack it again. But you know what? We're running out of time for this quarter.
They'll have to wait to the second quarter to attack that goal line. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 1 when you come back for the Red Devils. They lead 6-0 on 105.5 KD Country.
Introducing D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. A name you've grown to trust, Donnie Bryant is back with D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. As an American Standard dealer, D.L. Bryant Heating has the tools and the talent to handle all of your heating and cooling issues, large or small. Call 841-1580. That's 841-1580 for D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. Call 841-1580 for a name you can trust, Donnie Bryant and D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
The Rustburg Red Devils leading 6-0 and knocking on the door for more points. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Dave Haney. Hope you're enjoying a Friday night here in Central Virginia and beyond, thanks to KDCountry.com. We know we get a lot of out-of-town listeners, Dave.
Absolutely, all around the world. Of course, in the United States, former alumni and fans of the Altavista Colonels listening everywhere. And we appreciate you joining us. Hope you'll spread the word to the rest of the Colonel fans.
Social media and those kind of things make that a little bit easier. One of the officials forgot that they had to change sides, and he's going to have to make the full 100-yard run from all the way down there in the right end zone to the left. But that's okay. He needed to work out as well. Red Devils' offense is already set up. They lead 6-0. Looking for more here with 12 minutes remaining in the English is Your Complete Home Center second quarter. We'll talk about Englishes here in just 1 second. But let's see what the Red Devils can do here on 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Still the spread formation. Haven't gone under center yet. Shotgun snap to Jones, a little high. He keeps it, diving for the end zone. This time he is in, spun around backwards. But the Colonels' defense just could do nothing to keep him out of the end zone. It's the second touchdown for Dante Jones. Believe it or not, it's the second 74-yard drive for the Red Devils. They capped this one off in a touchdown as well.
I'm not sure who the Altavista tackler was, but Jones carried him into the end zone with him.
If the Colonels' D had some more room, then they would have been able to stop him for a 2 or 3 yard gain. But in this case, not enough. Red Devils are going to go for 2 here. They missed the initial extra point on their first score. So Jack Baker, the head coach for Rustburg, wants to get it back to a 14-0 advantage. Jones wants to throw, complete at the goal line. 2-point conversion is good. Rustburg leads 14-0. It was Dixon on the catch there Colonels football again. When you return, they'll have 11:55 left to play in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
I'm Greg Walker with an exciting new offer from Fellers Chevrolet. Purchase any new or used vehicle at Fellers and receive a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty and a 3-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Again, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 3-day money-back guarantee. At Fellers Chevrolet, we stand behind what we sell, and we save you money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Red Devils, 2 possessions resulting in 2 long drives and touchdowns. They lead 14-0. The Altavista Colonels, I don't know, Dave, you don't have to have a score here, but it would certainly be nice to respond, and it would be a great way to punch back for Altavista.
The Colonels' first drive, they had some success, but it fizzled out there and on 3rd and long as a pass play went awry, and Malbeck took a loss, and the Colonels just weren't able to recover.
Yeah, Colonel's opening drive wasn't bad by any stretch. They picked up 3 first downs. They were 2 for 3 on 3rd down. Here comes the kickoff. This is Adams. Up the middle, sidestep, darts back inside, and then meets stiff resistance at the 30-yard line. Never went down to the ground, but his momentum was stopped there, maybe just beyond, and that's where the Colonels will set up shop with 11:46 left to play in your English's second quarter. English's, your complete home center, Dave, has the new fall Carhartt gear in, and they've got even more stuff this year. They've got bibs and coveralls this year. They've got work belts. They've got stocking caps. You and I got a couple stocking caps for when we go out there in the cold weather when you're making me cut wood to fire up the furnace and all that stuff.
They've also added women's clothing this year, so bigger and better at Carhartt and English's.
They have added some women's clothing, got some very stylish women's jackets. Colonels will snap this ball from the 30-yard line. There's a run fake from Mateo Malbeck. He's going to keep it himself. He's around left end. Ooh, lowers the left shoulder there for a little punishment at the end of the run, and he hit Seth Baker. Baker got up a little slow. Malbeck doling out some damage there from the quarterback spot.
Looked like Baker might have limped off to the Rustburg sideline after that hit by Malbeck.
It looked like he did. I mean, Mateo, we know he's a physical player. Generally, you think of the quarterback as a guy that's going to shy away from contact a little bit. Not so with these 2 quarterbacks tonight. Malbeck still in there and just fine. It'll bring up 2nd and 4 after a good opening run. 11:09 left to play in the second quarter. It's a 14-0 Rustburg lead. Here's a shotgun snap and the handoff. This is Montague. Montague with some nice room up the middle, and now he's cut down around the 45-yard line. Falls forward for a few extra yards. It's another Colonel first down.
Montague with both hands wrapped around that football, weaving his way through the line of scrimmage, and a big burst up there to get up near the 50-yard line. Good run.
Agent Zero, Oscar Briggs, has pointed that out a few times, Dave. Montague loves to keep 2 hands on that ball until he gets free. It's very reminiscent of the way Tiki Barber ran in the second half of his career. Passing play here on 2nd down. Oh, Malbeck slipped at the 41-yard line, now hit hard and thrown backwards. Not a whole lot he could do. He tried to put his right foot down and cut back inside. Turf gave way a little bit, and that slowed him down just enough for the Rustburg defense to get a beat on him.
3 Red Devils in there on the tackle, including number 58, Davon Jones, for the Red Devils.
Rustburg was 6-5 last year, 6-4 in the regular season. They lost to Abingdon by 1 point in the first round of the VHSL playoffs. Some substitutions come in for Altavista. That's number 12, John Tay Gord. He'll set up in the left slot. There's 2 receivers to each side. Red Devils switch their defense around a little bit. Just a 4-down lineman. 2 linebackers, 1 deep safety. Malbeck going to throw on 2nd and long. Looking across the middle. That's complete to Pinnell. Pinnell kind of suplexed down there at the 44-yard line. Nice tackle by number 50, Jimmy Dryden, it looked like, on the stop.
Gets a couple of yards back for the Altavista Colonel, but it's a long 3rd down.
Let's bring up a very long 3rd down. We'll call it 3rd and 14 here. Clock rolls with 9:43 left to play in the English's, your complete home center, second quarter.
Colonels get the play in from the sidelines from Coach Sharness.
They trail 14-0. Working left to right now in this second quarter. Malbeck taking his time. Looks like he's ready for the snap. Colonel's O-line identifying some possible blitzers there for Rustburg. Perfect snap. Malbeck rolls left. Wants to throw. Now tucks it down. He does have some room to run. He's across the 45 to 50. Little stiff arm and a swim move gets him to the 45-yard line of Rustburg. Good gain there. It brings up 4th and 3.
Good job by Malbeck as he didn't have a target to throw to. He was pressured in the backfield, decided to keep it, and found some running room and gets close to the first down.
I can't read minds, but it looked like head coach Mike Sharness debated going for this one for a moment, but he's not going to. He called the punt team out there. It's 4th and 3 with 8:41 left to play. Field position-wise, it's not a bad place to try a fake. This ball is on the 45-yard line of Rustburg.
And, of course, Malbeck will do the kicking.
And no reason why he couldn't take off around the left side if he saw something. He will kick it away, though. Colonels get down there in good coverage. Dixon fields it on the run at the 15 and brought down nicely by Traquan Farmer. That's a very solid tackle by Farmer, particularly when Dixon had a head of steam like that.
Farmer was right there as he received the punt and grabbed him quickly and makes a very short return for Rustburg.
I mean, that's impressive. I mean, that really is. It is Rustburg's worst starting field position of the ball game so far, although not by much, and they've only had 2 drives, so that stat might be a little bit overrated.
And good coverage by the Colonels and Traquan Farmer on that punt.
Well, Farmer was a special teams dynamo his first year as a sophomore. That was his main role. Last year, he continued to do the special teams, but an expanded role on defense. This year, he does a little bit of everything and everything. Running play on first down here for the visitors. Nets about 5 or 6 yards.
And it's number 6 back in there for Rustburg carrying the ball.
Shamar Johnson. He's just a junior. So it's not like Rustburg's going to have the cupboard bare after Dante Jones, the quarterback, leaves.
Could have a couple of pretty good runners again next season.
2nd and 5. 7:53 left to play in the second quarter. It's a 14-0 Rustburg lead. They give it to Johnson again. Johnson hit at the 30. That's a solo tackle by Christian Gilbert to bring him down. It's enough for a Rustburg first down, though. The chains continue to move.
And he just dived forward for that yardage. Johnson did a good job of picking up the first down for Rustburg.
2 receivers to each side for the Red Devils. They're in the road white jerseys with red numbers. Everybody's got wristbands on. They consult those from time to time when a play gets signaled in. Oh, the football is on the ground. Dante Jones lost it. He dove down and really just ripped it away from Matt Aiken. Nice play there from Dante Jones. We were remarking on his wonderful ball handling earlier. That time the football slipping out of his hands on a quarterback keeper.
He tried to hand the ball off, or fake the handoff, I guess I should say. Kept it himself and then lost the handle on it. So lucky for Rustburg, they were able to recover their own fumble.
He had one that popped out of his hands, but the referee said he was down. There was one that he kind of bobbled a little bit, but never hit the turf. He'll throw on second down. Oh, long pass down the right seam there. It's just out of reach for the Red Devil receiver. That was Isaiah Dixon again that they were looking for. He ran just a fly route right down that far hash mark, Dave, and Jones had him, just a little too strong.
The Altavista defense was beaten on that one. Luckily, the pass was just overthrown.
3rd and 12 coming up for Rustburg. Colonel sends some subs in.
I guess luckily for Altavista, it was overthrown.
Right.
If you're Rustburg, not so lucky.
It all depends on your perspective, right? And we know we got some Red Devil fans listening for sure. They've got a 3rd down here with just under 7 to play in the half. Jones rolling right. Aiken had him in the sights. Wobbly pass is complete. Shaheem Pinnell is there on the coverage as Warren Lamberth, I believe, brought it in. That's over there on that far sideline. That's kind of hard to see from where we are at.
Lamberth had to go up in the air. Pinnell stayed right with him and brought him down as soon as he made the catch, but it was a great reception.
It's the first time the Colonels defense have got a 3rd down stop. 4th down situation. Rustburg looks content to punt it away and play defense.
A couple of Colonels dropping back at their own 25-yard line.
Rustburg is 3 for 4 on 3rd down. Snap does get back to the punter. He'll boot it away. Colonel's brought a decent rush. This is a ball that just hangs up in the night sky forever, and then it takes a Rustburg bounce. It is headed down inside the Colonel 10, now to the 5. Red Devils have 5 players down there to cover it. What a wonderful job by the Rustburg punt team to flip the field there. It's a great boot and even better coverage.
Kicked it over the heads of the Altavista receivers, and then it got a great roll. The ground's pretty hard.
It hasn't rained much lately, so you're right. I think that probably added it. Now the turf here is watered and irrigated, but still, Altavista will start with 6:01 left to play in the English's Your Complete Home Center second quarter. And they'll start it from their own 6-yard line. Does that look right, Dave? It looks like the 6 to me.
I think you're absolutely right.
It's certainly in quote-unquote shadow of your own goalpost territory. You got to be careful. You don't want a bad snap or any mishandled handoffs here. Here comes the shotgun snap. Malback gives it up to Montague, and Montague lowering the shoulder at the 14-yard line. Talk about punishment right there. Montague with a nice pickup on first down, and the exclamation point at the end of the run gets it to the 15-yard line. We'll call it 2nd and a long 1 now.
Banged off a couple of Rustburg Red Devils on that play. Montague with a great run.
Montague with a good burst as he got the football, too. That was impressive. That was some of the most impressive running we've seen from Jonathan Montague, even though it was only an 8-yard pickup. Malback barking at the snap count, gets the chest-high snap, hands it to Jonathan Montague again. This time not as much room, but does fall forward to the 20-yard line, so that's a first down for Altavista. Chains move with 5:19 left to play in the second quarter. 14-0 Red Devils on top.
We'll have to see if the Altavista offense can get a steady drive here. They've got the length of the field to go, as you said, started back on their own 6-yard line.
Montague is averaging 7 yards a carry this year. He had the long one, the 55-yard touchdown run last week against Greensville County. That certainly helped that average a bunch. He's out for a rest.
2 wideouts on each side for the Colonels.
Passing play on second down. Malback, soft roll out to his right. Pass was a little low, intended for Jacob Adams. Adams tried to cradle under it, but couldn't pull it in. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass.
Adams dived for it at about the 25-yard line, but incomplete. Just too low.
Colonels look to the sideline. Again, it's a cool Friday night evening here, a mid-September Friday night. Referee's going to blow some whistles and talk about some stuff. You haven't had to write down nearly that many check marks on your penalty ledger as Oscar did last week, and that's a good thing. Certainly making the pace and tempo of the game a lot better.
The referee's pointing out something in the end zone there. I don't know if there's a light on or just...
Yeah, the Altavista Fire Company's got one of their...
Well, there's a car way down there in the end zone, I think, with lights on.
I see it now. You're right. You're absolutely right. That could be it.
Could obscure the vision of the Rustburg Red Devils, or at least that the referee talking about it.
Right. Looks like they're going to hang on a second before they've put this football in play.
Car lights down on the end.
That's exactly what it is. And public address man, Andy McCracken here
communicated
at Altavista High
to
School.
Coach Sharness what the problem was. Sharness sent it up to the Altavista coaches here along the sideline, and they relayed it up to the press box. So everybody working together.
Now here's the question. Are they listening to our broadcast in their car? Can they hear us? And or could they hear public address man Andy McCracken from inside the car? I tell you, obviously we urge people to listen to us, but if you were smart, you might watch this game in your car and listen to another one. I'm just throwing that out there. Like I said, I don't want anybody to change the channel. I want everybody to listen to us. But I can be objective. I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Well, absolutely. There are other games on the radio, of course.
You could bounce around. It looks like the officials are going to put the ball back in play even though the headlights are still on.
Here we go.
Malback going to take off to his left. This is a designed quarterback run, and he's going nowhere. Cut down in the backfield. Looked like Jason Ruff on the tackle.
We did a nice job coming off the left side of the Rustburg defense, tracked Malback down, and another loss in the Altavista backfield.
Sure did. It was number 52, Jason Ruff. This is going to set up 3rd and long for the Colonels. 3rd and 15. There's 4:24 left to play in the first half. Subway halftime show will be on before you know it. Now the officials are going to stop play again. And I think they want the lights turned off. Looks like the head official, Harold Drumheller, might even mosey over there and tell him to turn the lights off. But that's a good 100 yards back there from where he's at now, isn't it?
That is a little distance. It could take a little while here, folks. Don't go away. We haven't had too many timeouts.
No, he's going to consult with some people standing just outside the field over here on the near sideline. I don't know if he's telling one of them to go over there and tell them, hey, turn the lights off. Nobody's moving from that There's about 7 people down there that he's chatting with right now. Maybe somebody from their group already went down there to tell him
They're,
to turn the lights
of course,
off.
along the Altavista sideline, so I don't know if that's some Altavista officials or what, but
this is one of the joys of broadcasting high school football, right? You know, I mean, Kevin Harlan gets to talk about when those people run on the field, but he doesn't get to give the play-by-play of turning car lights off.
No, you just don't have much of that in the NFL anymore.
It's hard to just pull your car up to the end zone there at the NFL. Remember at Rappahannock last year, Oscar and I were marveling that the cars and the pickup trucks do set up on the field down there. They sell that as like a VIP package. They back right up about 5 yards beyond the end zone. I mean, if somebody made a diving grab, they might end up in your tailgate out there at Rappahannock. But, hey, it was fun, right? I'm not saying it was all that safe, but it was fun. The lights are off. The lights are off. And we can play football again.
And Harold Drumheller gives the let's play signal. Start the clock.
3rd and long for the Altavista Colonels offense. It was Trey Tucker again. Tucker didn't get a whole lot there. Tried to tuck it in behind those 2 pulling guards. Just wasn't a lot of room there. Give the Colonels defensive line some credit for plugging up that hole. It'll make it 3rd and 8.
Passing down for the Rustburg Red Devils with 3:30 to go for the second half of the game. Second quarter of the game, excuse me.
I'll tell you what we haven't seen yet, Dave, and we've seen quite a bit in the Jack Baker era, is an option play. This might be a decent place to use that. No, Jones just going to keep it and running himself. He's not going to get there. Stephen Farmer with a nice hit. He hit Jones up high on his right shoulder and drove him down to the ground. Farmer is going to limp off the turf a little bit. He might be okay. He might just be gassed out a little bit from playing so hard. Nice stop by Stephen Farmer in what really amounted to a solo tackle to bring down Dante Jones.
Jones tried off left tackle that time, but Farmer was there to stop it. Good job by the linebacker.
Timeout by the Altavista Colonels. We'll take it with them. There's 3:09 left to play in the half. Rustburg with a 14-0 lead, but the Colonels slated to get the football back when you return to 105.5 KD Country.
Here's some valuable information when buying your dream home. I'm Tracy Gallahan with First National Bank, and we offer more mortgage options. We have a wider variety of loans to help you purchase a new home or lower your existing monthly payment. So, for a more custom mortgage loan of any size, contact local First National Bank. We'll show you an extraordinary customer experience and help you bring home more bacon. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
We return from the press box here at Altavista High School. I'm Kyle. He is Dave. It's Colonels and Red Devils on 105.5 KD Country, our 54th year of broadcasting high school sports. Another punting situation for Rustburg, Dave, on 4th and 6.
Last time, Rustburg outkicked the Altavista receivers. Let's see what happens this time. Good rush.
Another high boot again from Rustburg. It'll land on the 35-yard line. This time it does not take the Red Devil bounce. Number 82, Grayson Harvey, is the punter for Rustburg, Dave, and he is quite impressive with those high booming kicks.
Those kicks get up in the air a long ways, and it gives the Rustburg team a good chance to get downfield and cover the punt.
Colonel's defense has forced a couple punts. The Rustburg defense has forced 3 punts from Altavista. Colonel's going to have a 3-minute drill working here. Be interesting to see if they do run a little bit of hurry-up offense. I mean, the Colonels never really huddle, Dave, but it's not a hurry-up offense. They still take some time on that play clock normally.
At the 28-yard line of Altavista.
Malback takes a little while to get the snap here. He'll wing it out in the flat. This is caught by Montague. Montague just lowers his shoulder and plows ahead again. He's stopped by a trio of Rustburg tacklers. It was number
3 was one of the tacklers.
Yeah, that's Isaiah Dixon. Number 88 is Trevor Ruff. He was also in on the stop.
Dixon is the cornerback for the Red Devils on this left side of their defense.
5-yard pickup, though, for the Colonels. And we have seen Mike Sharns opening up the playbook a little bit. Some plays that we really hadn't seen before. They'll wing it out in the flat again. This time it's complete. Receiver is cut down there at the 35-yard line after a 3-yard gain. That's Jamelin Jones on the grab.
He made the first man miss, but the second defender caught up with Jones.
Good job to secure the catch by Jones. He gets up a little bit slow. Shotgun formation again for the Colonels. 3 wide receivers to the wide side. That's the right side of the field. Colonel's going to snap this ball on the left hash mark, their own 35-yard line. We're down to 2 minutes left to play in the half.
And another third down.
Sure is. They'll hand it off. This is Montague. Starts up the middle, lowers his shoulder. He's still on his feet. He's got the first down and a bit more. Now dragged down at the 43-yard line. Power running from Jonathan Montague to pick up the first.
Got through the defenders at the line of scrimmage, decided to cut to the left to the outside. He had one man to beat, but that man got him.
It was nice from Jonathan Montague. That moves the chains. 1:50 left to play. Colonels have 2 timeouts at their disposal. I'm imagining if they get into Rustburg territory, we'll see them use those 2 timeouts at some point.
2 wideouts to each side for the Colonels.
He took the words right out of my mouth. Rustburg not showing blitz. Seems like they might be ready for a pass. It's caught by Jacob Adams. Adams with a full head of steam. Hit hard at the 45-yard line. They actually sent him up in the air with that hard hit. That was Nate Anderson that really drilled Jake Adams. Adams a little slow to get up now after the first down pickup on another nice pass and catch. The Colonels' passing offense really working well here, Dave.
And Adams is now down on his back as Angela Emerson comes out there to see how bad it is. Jake Adams did a nice job. He stepped back 1 step to catch the ball and then cut up the middle. Took a couple of guys with him and got racked up at the 45.
Let's take a quick timeout here for the injury. Colonels trail 14-0, but they're on the move with just under 90 seconds left to play in the half on 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing, and electrical. Licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Littles Heating and Cooling.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Perfect timing as Jacob Adams is off under his own power back to the Altavista bench. Colonel's ready to go here on 1st and 10 from the near hash mark. 2 receivers to each side again in the shotgun formation. Malback rolls left, throwing perfect strike to Aiken. Aiken catches it on the numbers right there at the 40, turns it back inside at the 35-yard line. Nearly a late hit there by a Rustburg defender, but no whistle had blown, and he just came charging in there hard. That's an 8-yard pickup on first down. Another pass completion. Malback really showcasing the arm in this Week 4 game against Rustburg. Second and 1. Took the words out of your mouth, right?
Absolutely.
Malback swings it out to Pinnell. Pinnell catches in the flat. He turns it up near the first down marker. He got hit hard up high with a shoulder tackle by Colton Ashby. See where they spot this ball. I think he's got enough for a first down, don't you, Dave? I mean,
yeah, it looks to me like the referee's foot is there on the 33-yard line. I think that's what they need.
They're going to stop the clock and measure. No, it's a timeout for the Altavista Colonels.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know. Mike Sharnes doesn't look like he wants to take a timeout. The Colonels aren't really huddling up yet. There's some discussion going on with the official now. Maybe the official heard timeout. It looks like the Colonels are going to get charged with a timeout, so we'll take the timeout as well. It's a 14-0 Rustburg advantage. Colonels football with 45 seconds left in the half when you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. Asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
45.8 seconds left in the half. It's third and very short for the Colonels. Pinnell did not pick up the first down on that previous pass and catch, so here comes Altavista's next chance.
They were short by the length of a football.
Malback wants to pass. Straight drop back, 5-yard drop back. Caught by Pinnell. He cuts it back inside. He does have the first down. Angles to his right to the near sideline. Now dropped at the 28-yard line. It's a first down for the Altavista Colonels, and now Pinnell is a little bit slow to get up.
Hard-hitting Rustburg Devils defense here. puts Pinnell on the ground. The officials take a timeout, and Jake Adams is back up.
Yeah, interesting. As soon as he saw Pinnell went down, he hopped off that bench as if to say, I'm okay. Let me get back out there. He will wait on the sideline. It is an injury timeout. We'll keep this one here while we talk about Englishes again. And let's talk about these Orca coolers, Dave. They've got coolers of various shapes and sizes, and they also have the handheld glassware. I believe I'm holding right now the 28-ounce edition of the Orca Chaser. Icy goodness in every sip is the tagline. You can go to orcacoolers.com, but not just icy goodness. Warm goodness, too. You put the hot tea or the coffee in there.
That's like what you've got. Yeah.
That's exactly what I have.
You've got the hot tea in there tonight, and I know normally people think of cold drinks in there, which work just fine, but, hey, it's dual purpose.
And I'm not against cold drinks. I don't want you to think that.
I'm not thinking.
Good. It's dangerous to do that. I'm against lukewarm room temperature drinks. Give me either cold or hot. Don't give me room temperature. Don't give me anything in the middle there. But in all seriousness, folks, these Orca coolers and these Orca cups, fabulous stuff here. Dual insulation system featuring both copper-clad and vacuum-formed inner chamber. That's science. You wouldn't understand all that stuff, Dave. Just go to orcacoolers.com or go to English's, your complete home center.
And that's called the Chaser.
That's called the Chaser. This cup that I have right here probably fits perfectly in the cup holder of your vehicle or anyone else's that's listening out there. And as we found out in week 1 from our dear friend Callie Morgan up at Radford, English's opens at 8 a.m. on Saturdays if you want to race over there and pick one up tomorrow.
Good point. 8 a.m. till noon, I believe, or is it 1? Noon.
Let's go with noon.
Okay.
Get in there early and buy that. They might be sold out if you show up at 1.
They got a lot of different sizes, not just this one here like you have.
They do, and more to come. Pinnell made it off the field under his own power, too, so that's good to see. Colonel set up shop, another 1st and 10 situation. Maul back, rolls to his left, pump fakes, flushed out of the pocket. He got hit, but he stayed on his feet. He's across the 25 to 20, now to the 15. Maulback had designs on getting to the end zone. Very nice job by Mateo Maulback on a heady play. Kept his calm even after he got hit, pulled the football down, and picked up a first down.
And a nice run by Mateo there to put the ball deep in Rustburg territory. And now, what do we have, another timeout?
No, they spiked the football there with 20.3 seconds left. Good job by Maulback to hustle the offense up to the line of scrimmage. He spikes it to stop the clock. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Jake Adams gets back in on this side as the wide receiver for Altavista.
Well, if you've got single coverage on Adams, I like maybe the fade route to the end zone. Try the long throw there. If that doesn't go in, then you'll still have 15, 12 seconds to run another play on 3rd down, or perhaps bring out Nick Boley for a field goal try. They're going to throw a slant route over the middle. It was deflected. Ball went in every direction there, and actually it ended up coming close to Jacob Adams, but out of the grasp, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10. Didn't run much time off the clock, 17.5 seconds left in the half.
Couple of plays anyway, or time for a field goal.
3rd down here, maybe you take another shot at the end zone and then try the field goal on 4th down. Who knows? Coach Sharnas has some options, and this is kind of stuff that keeps offensive coordinators and head coaches up late at night dreaming about, well, what would I do in this situation? What would I do in this situation?
Boley warming up on the sidelines.
Certainly not the first time the Colonels have been put in this situation, but I can't remember one in a while. Maulback flushed out of the pocket, wanted to pass initially. Now he's thrown down at the 17-yard line, and here comes the final timeout for the Colonels. They'll stop the clock with 11.1 seconds left. We'll take a timeout, too. Colonels trail 14-0, but a chance to get on the board here in the late stages of the first half on 105.5 KD Country.
You can buy paint from any old yahoo who knows nothing about paint in one of those big box stores. For quality paint from people who really know paint, it's Davis Paints from your complete home center, English's. Davis Paints, which has been known for quality since 1921, is not just sold anywhere. Visit the new paint room at English's, your authorized Davis Paint dealer.
English's is your complete home center.
On North Main Street, Altavista.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels are going to try the field goal. Nick Boley getting the kicking block set up. They'll snap this ball from the 17. The block resting on the 24, so let's call this a 34-yard field goal attempt from Boley. His season and career long is 40 yards. This one got blocked. It got blocked. The football is loose. It's rolling out of bounds. Adams pushes a Rustburg Red Devil defender out of the way to get the football. There's 4.1 seconds left, but it will be a turnover on downs, essentially, after the blocked field goal.
The ball out on bounds here on the Altavista sidelines. Good job by the Rustburg defense to rush the punter, or the field goal kicker, I guess, in this case, with 4 seconds left.
Not sure that Boley would have had a chance anyway, but it looked like a low kick. See if Rustburg wants to take a shot at one last play, or perhaps it's just a kneel down and go to halftime. It looks like they are going to kneel it down. They'll send a back deep just in case there's something crazy on the kneel down. They'll do it from the shotgun formation. He takes a knee there at the 31-yard line, and we have played one half here from Altavista High School. Rustburg leads 14-0. Subway halftime show on the way when you return to 105.5 KD Country.
Napa know-how. Pennzoil Platinum Synthetic Motor Oil for just $4.99 a quart at Napa is filled with super smart oil technology. But I'm not an oil scientist, so I can't explain all that. However, I am smart enough to know that grabbing Pennzoil Platinum Synthetic for only $4.99 a quart is a smart deal. That's Napa know-how. Napa know-how. General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 9/30/16.
Brought to you by Napa of Altavista, proud supporter of the Altavista Colonels.
How do we make a better sandwich at Subway? Our new chicken Caesar melt is a great example. We start with tender rotisserie-style chicken that's raised without antibiotics. Top it with a savory Caesar sauce and add melted provolone and a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese for a flavor that's so deliciously unique, it redefines what a better sandwich should taste like. The all-new Chicken Caesar Melt from Subway. Limited time only.
Tonight's game is brought to you by these members of the KD Country Sports Club.
El Cerrito in Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only El Cerrito can serve up.
The Medicine Shop in Altavista, your Carolina boot headquarters with all sizes and styles of Carolina boots. The Medicine Shop, a full-service pharmacy.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, Altavista, where gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
They're doing it right at the Dairy Freeze. Hot dogs, burgers, fries, and of course, ice cream. Dairy Freeze on Main Street, Altavista.
Radio Shack in Crystal Bay Pools, Altavista, serving your area since 1989 for swimming pool installations, chemicals, liners, and more.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Love our KD Country Sports Club members. Love the fact that you're tuned in to us on a Friday night. It's a Rustburg Red Devil lead, 14-0.
Your home for Colonels.
Over the Altavista Colonels. It's the Subway halftime show. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Dave Haney. And Dave, where you want to start? You want to start with this potent Rustburg offense or the potent Rustburg defense?
Well, that's a good point. The Rustburg team is dominating the Altavista Colonels here, not only on the scoreboard at 14-0, but defensively they've been able to stymie the Altavista offense. The Altavista offense has been trying to get going in fits and starts, but just can't seem to get it down the field, although they were knocking on the doorstep there. A couple of injuries slowed things down, knocked the timing off, and the Colonels are still trying to find the end zone. I'm sure Coach Charnas will be working on that at halftime.
Absolutely. Colonels have touched the ball 4 times. 3 drives have ended in punts. 1 drive, the final one there, ended in a blocked field goal. They've racked up 9 first downs. So, yeah, they have moved the ball in some chunks. Rustburg, you got to give them some credit for bend but don't break style of defense. And let's talk about what we talked about in the Subway pregame show. We said the Colonels had to improve on the penalties and the turnovers. Well, they've done just that.
They've done that. They've been perfect.
Yep.
Rustburg with only 2 penalties for, I think, 15 yards. So not much in the way of penalties for Rustburg, which I think was probably one of the things they were concerned about coming in. It's the 4th game of the season, so teams get a little more efficient, a little better, what do I want to call it,
organization, maybe, that kind of stuff?
Their organization, they've been playing together a little more, so less offsides and that sort of thing shouldn't be happening so much this far into the season. So good job by Rustburg.
Yeah, that's a great point by you. I mean, as the season goes on, the penalties should go down. It doesn't always happen that way. Nothing's absolute, but they should go down. Red Devils have 2 rushing touchdowns from Dante Jones, their senior quarterback, an outstanding all-around player. They both came from 76-yard drives, too. The opening drive of the football game, they took down for a scoring run from Jones, and then the second drive. Now, the Colonels' defense did make some nice adjustments. We know Mike Revis is one of the best in-game coaches around. If he sees a weakness in your offense, he's going to find it. He's going to make the adjustments. They did force a couple Rustburg punts. It's been a defensive battle really for about the last 10 minutes of that second quarter. But certainly, Rustburg, even on their drives where they had to punt, they picked up some first downs too. They've moved the balls, and the Colonels' defense has just managed to make some good stops.
And this game is far from over. 14-0 is certainly not insurmountable. Colonels have to do a little something on defense. They've broken a couple of plays, but just haven't been able to get free from that last Rustburg defender or two to get to the end zone.
That Rustburg secondary is speedy, and they tackle well. A lot of teams, whether it's the cornerbacks or the safeties, they've got speed, but sometimes those cornerbacks don't like to hit. They're not too physical. Not the case here with the Rustburg Red Devils. They'll bring you down just like a linebacker or a defensive lineman would.
Rustburg's been hitting hard all game long, so it's a half of football to go, and I think we'll see the best part of the game coming up here in the next 24 minutes.
Oh, I think so. I wouldn't change that dial, or if you're tuned in on the internet, I wouldn't change the web browser at all. This is the Subway Halftime Show. We'll bring it back with some scores from around the area, and we'll talk more about what we might see in the second half. It's Rustburg 14, Altavista 0. You're hearing all the action live on 105.5 KD Country.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week. Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador, the happiest place in town, thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
PCM Industrial of Altavista offers mobile welding and repair services, fully equipped service trucks, and certified craftsmen, and quick response to satisfy your needs. Contact PCM Industrial at powerconstruction.com. PCM Industrial is a fully insured Class A licensed contractor, OSHA and MSHA compliant. PCM Industrial Services of Altavista wishes Coach Sharnes and the Altavista Colonels football team good luck in another winning season.
The town of Altavista is conducting surveys for the development of a community broadband system. Want faster speeds, better access at your home or office? Then take the survey. For more information, go to www.altavistava.gov or call the Altavista Office of Economic Development at 369-5001, 369-5001 to take the survey.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared and honors the memory of your loved one.
Finch and Finch Funeral and Cremation Service. A family serving family since 1905.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Subway Halftime Show returns. You can eat fresh at 2 great locations in Altavista. Main Street location, and of course inside the Walmart on Clarion Road. A lot of great things to see and do at Subway. So many options. You can always switch it up and keep it fresh. I think you made a great choice with that rotisserie chicken because that's for a limited time only.
Well, as I looked up at the board where they have all the sandwiches displayed, there are so many choices. It gets harder and harder to make a decision. So it used to be they had a handful, and now, gosh, there must be 20 or so different sandwiches plus the salads and the the pizza and breakfast. It's all going on at Subway.
Or you can do like I do sometimes and just get 5 or 6 cookies.
That sounds like a good breakfast to me.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it? I don't know if it's nutritious. Well, I mean, it can't be any worse than a donut, let's be honest with you.
And they got the weekend special. What is it, 2 for $12?
2 for $12. 2 footlongs for $12 at the Altavista locations and also the Gretna location on that as well. So that's nice to take advantage of that. Dave, a few scores here while we have a moment. Tunstall leads Chatham 13-6. Dan River on top of Martinsville 18-10. Heritage is up on Gretna 21-7. Brookville 17, Harrisonburg 7. Perry McClure blanking Nelson County 28-0. JF is up on Stanton River right now 16-14. Amherst leads 35-0 and Liberty trailing Hidden Valley 21-7. Most of those games are at halftime or if not close. Our first half really flew by, and that speaks to what we were talking about. Not many penalties, certainly a lot fewer than we're used to, and that's a good thing for the teams and the fans.
And the ground game consumes a lot of clock as Jones, Johnson, and Tucker all ran the ball well for the Rustburg Red Devils. And Malbec and Montague doing the damage mostly for Altavista. So the only slowdown we had was the light show. The unintended light show. Somebody left their lights on in the end zone here along Bedford Avenue. So we got those put out, and the game got going.
Right. Not to be confused with the Altavista Colonels basketball light show that we see on the other side of the press box. But, yeah, the light show coming from a car out there beyond the left-hand end zone there, the Bedford Avenue, end zone, the north end zone, as I like to say. If you joined us late, it was 2 Dante Jones rushing touchdowns. That is the 14-0 margin for Rustburg. The first extra point attempt was no good. They did convert a 2-point conversion on the second touchdown. That's worth noting. Rustburg is 3 for 5 on third down so far here tonight. Colonels are 4 of 7 on third downs, and both teams have, as we pointed out, moved the ball in spurts. Just the defense will tighten up at the right times, and certainly the Rustburg defense tightening up a few more times than Altavista.
Rustburg scoring once in each quarter on the running of Jones. That second one I know is just a couple of yards out as he barreled into the end zone. So the Red Devils have driven the ball right down to the goal line and then used short yardage to get in tonight against Altavista.
And I think this Colonel's defense, on the one hand, you have to tip your cap to them. They're making Rustburg earn it. They're making them work their way down the field. Not too many long runs, big plays. And, when you get your back to the wall like that on those goal line situations, it's tough to keep a guy, particularly a guy with the size of Jones. It's tough to keep him from getting 2 or 3 yards a carry.
Yeah, he's a big weapon for the Red Devils. And when we say big, 215 pounds, he can run the ball down your throat. He's 6'1", and very powerful, solidly built for the Red Devils. So he's a weapon, and he's an all-star kind of quarterback.
That's right. That's a great way to put it. Another time out here on the Subway halftime show as we roll on. Hey, you've still got time to eat fresh at the Altavista locations there. They're open. You can hear the game. They're probably tuned in to us right now. We had great customer service. Thank you for that, gang. Keep up the good work. Colonels going to need to make a comeback here in the second half. They trail 14-0 to the Rustburg Red Devils. You heard the first half live on 105.5 KD Country.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes in Virginia are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Brought to you by English Construction Company, with offices in Lynchburg.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in. Bring the family. See your friends at Highview Motors. Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Compassionate Care Choices, Autumn Care, 24-hour skilled nursing, inpatient, outpatient, physical, occupational, and speech therapies. Autumn Care invites you to tour their facility. In 2016, receiving the Bronze Quality by the American Healthcare Association. 5-star rating by Centers for Medicare Medicaid Services. Autumn Care, a member of Sabre Healthcare Group, serving Altavista and surrounding areas since 1989.
Altavista High School football is brought to you by Steve Farmer Auto Sales. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs. And they're priced right with financing available. See Steve Farmer Auto Sales, 1112 Main Street, Altavista. The next time you get ready to make a change. Steve Farmer Auto Sales. Best deals on wheels.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway halftime show is back here from the press box at English Stadium, Altavista High School. To cite some VHSL football on a Friday night here in September. A lot going on this weekend, Dave. A lot of great activities that folks could attend. The Avoca Wine Festival, the Harvest Jubilee and Wine Festival is tomorrow beginning at noon at the Avoca Museum. If you want to go further south, the Danville, Pittsylvania County Fair firing up again tonight, and another night race at South Boston. And, if you're a football fan, I'm sure you can find a game or two on this weekend.
Yeah, there's plenty of activity all around. Just enjoy yourself this weekend. The weather promises to be pretty nice. I guess there is a chance of showers, which we could use the rain, but other than that, it's kind of fall-like weather, perfect for this time of year.
It's interesting. You look at the leaves, and they're starting to fall a little bit. Now, some of that is because we haven't had much rain, and they're kind of dying, but it sort of gives a fall-like appearance a little bit early, and it's always nice when it gets cool. I mean, I tell you, you got to feel for the players a little bit on those hot nights like we've had this week. I mean, it's tough to put those pads and that helmet on and run around out there in 95-degree heat. I mean, that's rough.
Yeah, last weekend particularly was just a difficult weekend to play football, that's for sure. As we get ready to start the second half here, the Altavista Colonels, who deferred in the first half, will have a chance to receive the ball and get the offense out there on the field, with Rustburg leading 14-0.
And that's certainly how you would script it out if you're a Colonel fan or a Colonel coach. You would say, hey, we'll just get this opening kickoff here. We'll come on down. We'll score. We'll cut the lead in half. It'll be 14-7. Then we'll get a turnover or a 3-and-out. But unfortunately, in football, as in life, it doesn't always go like you draw it up on the chalkboard. I'm interested to see if the Colonels are going to make an adjustment or two on the offensive side. They've already opened up the playbook quite a bit, Dave, and thrown some plays at Rustburg that you and I and Oscar really haven't seen yet this year. Maybe just more of the same of that, or I don't know. I'm scratching my head a little bit as to what the Colonels can do.
Yeah, that's a good point. They haven't looked bad. They just haven't gotten into the end zone.
Right.
The Rustburg Red Devils, it seems to me, just have to keep doing more of what they've been doing in the first half.
Yeah. I mean, the Red Devils, on their end, again, it's kind of the same thing with Altavista. I scratched my head to really find some adjustments because they've moved the ball well. They've got 2 touchdowns on the ground. They did have 2 drives end in punts, but that was mainly because the Colonels had some key timely stops on third down situations. It may just come down to those third downs. It may who gets the chains moving more.
2 evenly matched teams here in the first half, I think. The scoreboard doesn't quite show that, but in the meantime, the Colonels, like you say, have made some good defensive stops, had some first downs, just haven't been able to get across the end stripe. So we'll see what the Colonels can do in the second half. The Marching Colonels entertaining us here at halftime with their wanted performance as the teams come back out on the field, loosening up a little bit here. We're ready to go in just a few moments.
It looks like the Subway halftime show is done. We'll keep our eye on those other area games and see if anything develops. If it does, we'll let you know. I'm sure something will develop, but we've got a developing situation here in the second half. I don't think the Colonels coaching staff feels too bad about where they're at. I think they feel like they're right in this football game, and with all respects, they are. Now, they're in that sort of danger zone, though, where if they turn the ball over and Rustburg makes a quick score, now all of a sudden you're down 21-0, and statistics say 3 scores are hard to come back from, 3-score deficits. People make up 14 points all the time. People don't make up 21 points all the time.
It is much harder, so this first down or first series for the Colonels is very critical, that's for sure.
Jack Baker and his Rustburg squad, they're 2-1 on the season coming in. They beat Tunstall in week 1, 49-14. They beat Allegheny last week, 27-7. They lost to Appomattox as the meat and the sandwich there. They would feel very good about winning this football game, feeling where they're at right now as a team in the game and the season.
Colonels with their 3-0 record hope to keep on the winning streak here tonight. They have their work cut out for them in the second half.
No doubt about it. He's Dave. I am Kyle. Oscar Briggs is away on assignment, but tuned in. Big shout out to Agent Zero.
And we see Jake Adams back there at about the 7-yard line. He was shaken up in the first half of the game, but has come back out on the field to start things up for Altavista.
Shaheem Pinnell was the other Colonel that got a little bit banged up. He's out there too on the 20-yard line. Oh, ball carrier went down at the 5-yard line. That was Jamelin Jones, I think, that fielded it and lost his footing. He may have actually turned an ankle or something because he's not moving at 100%.
No, he's
limping. The Colonels are going to be saddled with some very poor field position to start the second half. We talked about this opening drive was critical. They're going to get their money's worth if they can march down 95 yards and get a score here. Jones is off under his own power, but clearly not in good shape.
He's limping along the sidelines here now, and I think the trainers will be overlooking at him in just a moment. Colonel's back deep in their own territory as his feet came out from under him as he's tried to go upfield.
Shotgun formation. Malback has his heels on the goal line. Not in the end zone, but close. They give it to Montague. Montague's got some room outside. He broke free at the 10. Now pushed out of bounds. Stays on his feet at the 14-yard line. That's a nice way to alleviate some of that pressure of snapping the ball down around your own goal line. A nice long run to open up for Jonathan Montague. They call it a 9-yard gain. He's just shy of the first down marker.
Isaiah Dixon, number 3, was the tackler who had him kind of at the line of scrimmage, but he ran right through that tackle. Montague.
Shotgun formation, 3 receivers, a blocking back and a running back set up behind Malback and to his left. That's Montague. They give it to him again. This time he loses yards. 5-yard loss as the Red Devil D line just met him in the backfield, really, as Johnny was getting the football. Good job by number 2 to hold on to it, and a good job by the Red Devil defense to surge in there. It looked like number 74, Trey Glass, was the first guy in.
And that'll bring up a long third down here, 3rd and 4 or 5 yards for Altavista.
It's crazy how that pendulum swings. You have 2nd and 1, and all of a sudden you're feeling pretty good. Then you get thrown for a 5-yard loss. Malback taking some time. Now he's set to receive the shotgun snap. Went with the long snap count. Nobody from Rustburg moving. Now he gets the football in his hands. Rolls left, throws left. Complete there to Matt Aiken. Good catch just beyond the first down marker. That'll move the chains. Call it a 7-yard pass and catch from Malback to Aiken.
The Colonels had a couple of receivers out on that side. Malback threw it out there on a bullet, and Aiken was past the first down marker, so he picks it up. And the Colonels got the chains moving here, and they need that. They don't want to get pinned back deep in their own territory to start the third quarter.
1st and 10 from the far hash mark. Colonels in the home orange jerseys with black pants. Working left to right in this English is your complete home center third quarter. They hand it to Montague again. Montague just diving into the line there. It's almost like he was going down as he was catching the ball, but he did manage a sizable chunk of yards out of it. Call it a 5-yard pickup on first down there.
Twisted his way through the line there and fell forward for about 4 yards.
10.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Rustburg leads 14-0. Altavista, first time touching the football in this second half. Here's another handoff play. This time it looks like Pinnell there on the carry. 3-yard gain. He's close to the first down marker, but just short of it. This is going to bring up another third down situation for the Colonels. 1 for 1 in the half, 1 for 1 in the drive. It was actually, Christian Gilbert on the carry.
he comes out, and the Colonels get another running back in this time.
Colonels looking to the sideline again for the play.
Short third down and about 2.
Blocking back in the game looks like Josh McClure, kind of set up as a wing back right now over on the right side. Ball back, waiting for the snap. Takes his time again. Turns, gives it to the running back. Stops short of the first down marker. Cut down at the 25-yard line. Not positive if it was Pennell or Gilbert. Looks like it was Gilbert on the run. He is short. He actually lost a yard. It's going to bring up a punting situation for the Altavista Colonels.
The Red Devils defense, particularly on the left side where the Colonels were trying to run to their right side, stuffed that run and caused the loss in yardage there. Good job by the Red Devils defense.
Yardage-wise, it would be a decent place for a fake, but not field position-wise. Colonels are snapping this ball from their own 25. They're short a man on the punt team. Oh, they snapped it anyway. Maulback wasn't even really looking, and he caught it, thankfully, and kicked it away with his right foot. Fielded by Dixon on his own 40-yard line. Going to try down the far sideline. He does have some room and a convoy of blockers. He's across the 30, breaking free at the 20. Now rode out of bounds there, maybe closer to the 15-yard line. I don't think the Colonels had enough men on the line of scrimmage. They didn't get a guy out there. It's one place I think Mike Sharness, because of the return, wishes they would have thrown a flag. But again, these are the breaks in football and in life. Great starting field position for Rustburg to have their first possession of the third quarter.
Nice run by the senior Dixon on the punt return. Altavista, a poor job of tackling along the Rustburg sideline. Looked like it was about the last defender for the Altavista Colonels that had a chance to knock him out.
Must have stepped out of bounds a little bit early because they put this ball on the 24-yard line. By far the best starting field position of the ball game. This ball is deep in Altavista territory on the Colonels' 24-yard line. Rustburg football here, 3 receivers to the left side of the field. Here comes a flag. Now you get to use that pen that you wanted to use so badly for the penalty category. It's a false start, I believe, on Rustburg. That'll back them up 5 yards. Delay of game, pardon me, on Rustburg. I didn't think they took that long to get lined up and snap it, did they?
I wasn't watching the clock real carefully, but yeah, that's a delay of game, so that backs them up. And a break for the Colonels, who are in the danger zone here. If Rustburg gets that third score, as you mentioned earlier, that's going to be hard to overcome.
Red Devils huddle up 7 yards behind the football, and now heading to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers to the left. Snap is a little high, but Jones climbed the ladder to pull it down. Now he goes up the middle. Stuttercept Gibson outside. Bit of a stiff arm there and driven to the turf after a 4-yard gain.
He bounced off a couple of Altavista defenders. The Colonels trying to tackle him high, and Jones made a little bit of a gain for the Red Devils.
Nearly got it back to the original line of scrimmage. Official stick says 2nd and 12 here from that far hash mark. They need to get down to the 12-yard line. Here's the snap. Jones wants to throw on 2nd down. Another screen play. Drops it over the top. This one's snuffed out nicely by Tevin Pearman, but Pearman can't rodeo him to the ground. He just grabbed on. He was trying to throw him down, but the ball carrier was Shamar Johnson. He just kept spinning forward. Pearman never let go, but it ended up being a big gain there. Call it a 8-yard pickup, and it brings up 3rd and 4 for Rustburg.
Wasn't a bad tackle, had him just above the waist, but the strength of the ball carrier apparently just kept going downfield.
Momentum had a lot to do with it, too, for sure. Here comes 3rd and 4 for Rustburg. They get down in the crouch like they're going to snap it. Then they take some time and look over to the sideline. Timeout on the field. Rustburg needs to talk it over. We'll talk it over with them. They lead 14-0, 3rd and 4 coming back for the Red Devils when you return to 105.5 KD Country.
Introducing D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. A name you've grown to trust, Donnie Bryant is back with D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. As an American Standard dealer, D.L. Bryant Heating has the tools and the talent to handle all of your heating and cooling issues, large or small. Call 841-1580. That's 841-1580 for D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. Call 841-1580 for a name you can trust, Donnie Bryant and D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Dante Jones has 2 rushing touchdowns for the Rustburg Red Devils. They lead 14-0. They're facing a 3rd and 4 situation here with the football in Altavista territory on the Colonels' 18-yard line. Need to get to the 12. Jones looking at the defense coming out of the timeout. They're going to hand it off to Johnson. Johnson pulling. Farmer had his hands on him but couldn't bring him down. He slowed him down. It's going to be close to the first down marker.
We'll see where they spot this one.
He is short of the first down. I'm going to say he's short.
Yep, about a yard short. 4th down coming up. Big play for Rustburg here. If they could keep the drive going, they might try it in Altavista territory.
They certainly might. They're going for it right now. 4th and 1. Look for Jones on a keeper, but you never know. He's ready for the snap. He is going straight up the gut, and he has some room behind the center. More than enough for a first down. He's inside the 10, down to the 7-yard line. A group of Colonel defenders finally drag him to the deck. 6:51 left to play in the English's, your complete home center, 3rd quarter. Rustburg's going to hurry up here. Didn't take much time to unpile. Same play, going right up the gut again. This time, Jones sidesteps the defender, going outside, headed for the near pylon, and he scores. Colonel's really sold out to the interior of the defense to try and meet him in the middle. Jones sensed that, stepped outside for a 6-yard scoring touchdown, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the ball game, Dave.
Good heads-up play by Dante Jones, who plays both ways for the Rustburg Red Devils, and brings them to 20-0. They'll try the extra point.
The 4th down conversion was big there by Jones. When they picked it up, Dave, they unpiled quickly. Really didn't give the Altavista defense much of a chance to get their bearings. This time the kick is good. Rustburg, they lead 21-0. Colonels need a response here. They're going to get a chance when you come back with 6:43 left to play in the 3rd quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
A short drive will save you money.
I'm Greg Walker with an exciting new offer from Fellers Chevrolet. Purchase any new or used vehicle of Fellers and receive a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty and a 3-day, 100% money-back guarantee. Again, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty and a 3-day money-back guarantee. At Fellers Chevrolet, we stand behind what we sell, and we save you money. Come see us. You'll be glad you did.
A short drive will save you money. Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Dante Jones racking up his 3rd rushing touchdown of the evening for the Rustburg Red Devils. We knew he was good, Dave. He is as good or better than advertised. And not a whole lot of breakout speed stuff, not a lot of long runs from the Rustburg Red Devils, just methodical matriculation of the ball downfield. It's tough to stop for the defensive side.
And eats up a lot of clock as we ran off 5 minutes there in the 3rd quarter.
Here comes a boot from the Red Devils. They'll get fielded on the 5-yard line. Up the middle goes the return man for the Colonels. Might be Jamelin Jones back in there again. Let's see if we can identify who it is. Altavista stopped on the 28-yard line. It was Christian Gilbert. Pardon me. It was number 10, Christian Gilbert on the return, and a decent return at that.
Yeah, a good job of running up through the middle of the pack there and avoiding the tacklers, getting several extra yards on that run.
Colonels are going to start, like I said, on their own 28-yard line. They'll scrimmage with 6:34 left to play in the English's 3rd quarter. This is really make-or-break time now for the Colonels.
Altavista has to answer that touchdown from the Red Devils.
To have any realistic shot of getting back in the ball game, I would agree with you, Dave. Here comes a running play on 1st down. Looks like Montague started off right tackle, then cut it up to the inside of the defense. Stopped for a decent gain. He got across the 30-yard line to the 33.
It looked like the Rustburg defense had about 10 men in on that tackle. They were all crowded around the ball carrier.
Seemed like everybody but maybe one of the cornerbacks was in there. You're absolutely right. That's gang tackling if I've ever seen it. 2nd and 7 on the way for Altavista. Working left to right in the home orange jerseys. Head coach Mike Sharna still signaling the play in. Clock continues to turn. 5:59 left to play in the English's 3rd quarter. Gilbert in there at the running back spot. Shifts over to the left of Mateo Malback. Here's the snap. Malback wants to throw on 2nd down. Going to have to tuck it down, flushed out of the pocket. He's past the 35. He lowered the shoulder at the 40. Hit hard, spun off, kept going to the 45. That is some seriously hard-hitting football. He drilled Nate Anderson Anderson managed to slow him down enough. Malbeck took some punishment there, too.
Yeah, a tackler came in from behind and hit Mateo and drove him to the ground after he ran into the Rustburg Red Devil defender.
One of the harder-hitting football games I can remember in a while. These two teams are really getting after it out there.
Yep, everybody dishing it out tonight, giving it everything they can in this neighborhood rivalry.
Swapping paint out there on the helmets for sure. Handoff play goes to Gilbert. Gilbert pushes his pulling lineman aside, then tries to get in there off left tackle. It's a 2-yard gain on first down for Gilbert and the Altavista Colonels. They trail 21-0. Clock shows 5 minutes here left in the third quarter. I don't know that the Colonels have to be in a huge hurry, but I think we both have pointed out and agreed that they need points on this drive.
Trying to get the number of one of the Colonels who limped off here along the sidelines.
Ethan Young back in there on the offensive line. We indicate it's probably an offensive lineman, and now the Colonels are heading to the sideline. Did they call a timeout? Apparently they did. We'll take the timeout with them. Altavista trailing 21-0. They've got 2nd and 8 on the way with 4:56 left in the third. When you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
When you need an important business loan, you want to deal with a decision maker who will respond quickly. I'm Penny Wallace with local First National Bank at our airport branch. I'm focused on business customers, and we have a streamlined process to help you with any loan need. I can offer various business loans for real estate, new equipment, and credit lines. So for better business banking, think of us first. That's local First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
So glad to have you along for the ride with me, Kyle Haney. He is Dave Haney. The teams on the field are the Altavista Colonels and the Rustburg Red Devils. We've seen a very good football game. It doesn't feel one-sided, Dave, but when you look at the scoreboard, Rustburg sporting the 21-0 lead.
Rustburg has been scoring when it counts, and like you say, a 21-0 lead here. It doesn't feel like that kind of a game, but Rustburg has put together some good drives.
Sure have. The action on the field has been very competitive. Not a lot of long gains for either side. I mean, it's been 4 and 5 yard gains. We've seen our share of 12 and 13 yard scampers and some pass plays in there, but nothing really long. You know, most coaches consider plays of 20 yards and over, quote unquote, big plays. I'm not sure that we've had any of those. You know, Dixon had a long return. He had a very nice return there that set up the last score on the punt return.
Yeah, for special teams, you're right.
But sure, just on the offensive side, not a ton of long plays. Assistant coach Cliff Lee is talking with Harold Drumheller now, the official. There is a Colonel down on the sideline, and he is close to the sideline. I think that's why they're not putting this ball in play just yet.
Yeah, for safety reasons. As it was one of the Colonels who came off, one of the linemen limping off, just barely got off the field.
We can't see who it is. There's a crowd of people, some players around the player that's down.
Also, Angela Emerson is down there tending to the injured Colonel.
While we have a moment, let's remind you again that English's Your Complete Home Center brings us this third quarter. They're your home for Carhartt apparel for men, and they have a women's selection in there now, too. You don't need to drive to Danville or Lynchburg or points beyond to get your official Carhartt gear. It's American-made. It's built tough. It's just in time for hunting season when the weather gets cold. If you're outside because of work or recreation, then you really got to have that Carhartt gear to stay warm.
Yeah, that kind of weather's coming, folks. So shop now while the selection is good at English's. As Kyle said, they've just gotten a new shipment in there, and they're all stocked up, ready for fall at English's on Main Street in Altavista. And they're open tomorrow from 8 to noon if you want to go then.
I would love to meet you up there at 8 a.m. or better yet 7:55 or something like that. We're still discussing here because there is an injured Colonel down, not on the field, but 2 yards off the right sideline. That's the near sideline for us, and the officials don't want to play to come over there and have him get trampled on, and it's a clearly the type of injury that they don't feel real good about moving the player just yet. Now we're seeing some coaches and players bend down, and they're going to move this injured Colonel and get him further away from the action so we can restart things. Head coach Mike Revis in there helping out, also Cliff Lee and a couple Colonel players.
The injured player was down near the 40-yard line on the sidelines. The ball is being put in play at the Altavista 43, so that close proximity just caused the referees to err on the side of caution and give the Colonels a chance to move their fallen player farther away from the sidelines, up near the track, if you're familiar with English Stadium.
Player safety so important now, as it should be, but certainly it's a point of emphasis in things like that. It's a point of emphasis in tackling. It's a point of emphasis in hydration. And as I mentioned, it should be. It's a good thing that we've come a long way from back when you used to strap on those leather helmets. Oh, it wasn't leather. Oh, here's a snap fumbled by Malbeck. He gets it back. He's retreating at the 35-yard line, pushed back to the 30. This is a big loss. Malbeck mishandled the snap, got it back, and then it sort of squirted out again. Give him high marks for just holding on to it, though. It's about all he could do at that point. He was hit by that fabulous two-way man that we've been talking about, Dante Jones.
Malbeck tried to roll to his left, and Jones came off the right side defensively for Rustburg to put the hit on, and that drives the Colonels way back with third down at 4 minutes left to play in the third quarter, English's third quarter.
3rd and 18 is the down in distance here. Colonels actually need to get in Rustburg territory for a first down. They need to get to the other 49-yard line. Malbeck dumps it off. Screen pass to Gilbert. Gilbert hit as he's catching. Manages to scramble out of the first tackle, but couldn't get out of the second tackle, and that's only a gain of about 2 yards. Not nearly enough for Altavista on 3rd and long. It's going to bring up another 4th down situation. Colonels will have to boot it away again to the always dangerous Isaiah Dixon, setting up to return on the 40-yard line of Rustburg.
I think that was Nate Anderson in there for the Red Devils on the tackle.
Malbeck stands on his own 22-yard line. His punts have been pretty good so far here tonight. This snap moves him a little bit to the right, but he reels it in, kicks a nice high one. Gets down there. The coverage team is in place. Dixon gets away from it. It hits and takes a dead left at the 40-yard line, now down at the 37-yard line of Rustburg. That's where the Red Devils will scrimmage with a 21-0 lead and 3:08 left to play in the third quarter.
Good field position for the Rustburg Red Devils to start this drive.
Colonels currently being shut out, Dave. They haven't turned the ball over. Every one of their drives has ended on some type of a kick. 5 punts and 1 blocked field goal.
And I don't think the Colonels have had any penalties thus far tonight.
I think you're right. I trying to run back into memory banks there. I think they're penalty-free so far here tonight, which is what they thought they would have to be to beat Rustburg. And certainly the ball game's not over yet. Colonels defense could get a stop or a turnover here. They're right back in it. Handoff play on first down. Nice spin move by the ball carrier. Then hit. That's number 32, Trey Tucker again. He put a video game-like spin move on one Colonel defender there at the 40-yard line. Then he's brought down at the 46.
And as we mentioned before, Tucker is just a freshman at 180 pounds. He's only 5'8".
Gosh, that's impressive. And with speed, too.
He had a good week last week, too, carrying the ball.
2nd and 4. They'll give it to Tucker again. This time, full head of steam up the middle. Almost looked like one of those old-school wedge plays, and he just got in behind the center and charged across the 50-yard line all the way to the 45 of Altavista and perhaps beyond, maybe to the 44 where they'll spot this football. Rustburg moving the chains with 2:30 left to play in the third quarter. They've got a 21-0 advantage.
Hard-hitting game between the Colonels and the Red Devils here.
Colonels defense going to take a timeout, Dave. Let's take it with them. I think Mike Revis didn't have the right personnel out there. Rustburg, they're on top, 21-0. 1st and 10 coming up with 2.5 left to play in the third quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
It's cold in here. Will your heating system keep you warm this winter, or will you spend a cold evening shivering under the covers? Have your heating system inspected today by Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling. Kent Tyree has over 20 years experience and specializes in heating, air, plumbing and electrical, licensed and bonded. Call for an appointment today. 309-2266. 309-2266. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling.
Your home for Colonel sports coverage. 105.5 KD Country.
Colonels take a timeout as the Rustburg Red Devils urging their crowd to get behind them. A lot of players raising the arms up, trying to get the crowd on their feet, and they do have about 90% of them on their feet over there.
Making a lot of noise on the far side of the field.
Sure are. Quite a few fans lined up along the fence here at Altavista, Dave. Not nearly the biggest crowd we've ever seen here, but one of the bigger ones in a while, and it's nice to see on a Friday night, a county rivalry type of game. And it's one of those rivalries that I don't think there's a lot of bad blood. I'm not saying there isn't a few unsportsmanlike things done or said, but for the most part, this is a pretty friendly rivalry, and it's always nice to play the Red Devils. Jones hands off to Tucker. Tucker skirting in and out of the defense. He might be gone. Colonels have a hold of his jersey there to slow him down at the 35-yard line, just between the far sideline and the numbers. Tucker is brought down after first down yardage gained. Let's say it's an 11-yard pickup on first down.
He almost broke away. Luckily, two Colonels could get a hold of him and slow him up for the tackles, but Rustburg gains a first down out of it.
Colonels trail 21-0. Rustburg on top. Jones going to run the quarterback lead play off right tackle. He's over there 1 yard inside the right sideline. Now brought down and out of bounds after a 7-yard pickup. Jones was searching for a hole. Wasn't anything there, so he just continued to rumble his way downfield.
Colonel's taking some bumps and bruises here in this hard-hitting game with Rustburg tonight.
We have seen a couple Colonels come up slow. A couple Colonels have to come off. A few have to be helped off. Rustburg is a hard-hitting ball club. Here comes a running play on second down. They give it to Tucker. Tucker hit hard at the 22, then thrown down beyond the 20. That's another first down for the Rustburg Red Devils. Talk about moving the chains. I count 14 of them so far here tonight. We've got 1:40 left to play in the English is your complete home center third quarter. To 21-0 Red Devil advantage. Three receivers to the left. Handoff play again. Now the ball's on the turf, and the Colonels have it. They're going the other way. This might be the spark Altavista needed. That ball came out. It bounced forward into the teeth of the Altavista defense. They picked it up. It looks like number 10, Christian Gilbert, was the man that recovered the fumble for the Altavista right. Colonels.
Good job for the Colonels and Christian Gilbert picking up that loose ball. The Colonels with 1:24 left in the English's third quarter here. Chance to get something on the scoreboard and turn this thing around a little bit, trailing 21-0.
Well, if the Colonels do get back in the football game and come back and win, we're going to look to that moment at 1:24 left to play in the third quarter. Christian Gilbert, with the first turnover of the game, a fumble recovery. Here comes a slant pass. Maulback completes it to Aiken. It was low. Matt Aiken had to go downstairs and scoop it up just inside the far sideline, but it is a completion and a 4-yard gain on first down.
And he was going to the ground as he made the reception, so good gain for the Colonels, bringing up their second down.
See if the Colonels sort of throw caution to the wind, for lack of a better term, and maybe air it out a little bit more, throw the ball more here, trailing 21-0. I don't think they're going to completely abandon the ground game. Certainly not. They hand it off to Christian Gilbert right there. He's racing off left tackle, hit hard at the numbers there on the 34-yard line and stopped at the 35. Going to bring up third and 1. 39 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Rustburg 21, Altavista 0.
Colonel's got a drive going here. It's third and short.
See what Mike Sharness dials up here on third down. You really, again, if you're entertaining notions of coming back anyway, you got to have something on this drive here in the closing stages of the third quarter, what will end up being the opening stages of the fourth. Gilbert slipped at the 35-yard line. He tried to reach the ball out to the stick. This is going to depend on the spot as to whether he got a first down or not. If it's 4th and inches, I bet the Colonels go for it.
We'll wait for him to unpile. They are across the 35. They are asking for a measurement, I believe.
And then this is rare. You know, Oscar and I discussed this last year.
Yeah.
I don't have any evidence or statistical data to quantify this, Dave, but I think there were a lot more measurements in years past. I think in years past the officials were more apt to call for the chain gang to come out and measure it. Now it's a lot more eyeballs. And like I said, I'd have to go back and do some research and see if that's actually true. Maybe it's a figment of my...
Can't see through the referee here.
No, you can't. I think they're coming up just short. They are. Official holds up about an inch or two. Let's see what the Colonels decide to do here. What are you thinking? You're going to go for it? Well, we're going to have time to talk about it. The third quarter has expired. Colonels trail 21-0. They've got a 4th and inches on the way to start the fourth quarter. When you come back to 105.5 KD Country.
Hello, this is Jerry Miley from 1433 Altavista Moose Center. It's asking everybody to come on down and join us and see what the Moose is all about to help us support our Moose Heart, Moose Haven family. Anybody's welcome to come down and take a tour of our building and see what's going on. Come on down and we'll let you in and we can have some fun. We're looking forward.
Meet Jerry and the rest of the Altavista Moose family and become a member. The Altavista Moose Family Center on Lynch Mill Road.
Your station for high school sports play-by-play is 105.5 KD Country.
Well, to start the fourth quarter, we can have what might amount to be the biggest play of the ball game. Certainly, if you're thinking about a Colonels comeback, they're going to have a 4th and inches to start this fourth quarter here. They trail 21-0. They got the football and a fumble recovery from Christian Gilbert. Dante Jones was going to carry the ball up the gut, and he seemingly just had the ball slip out of his hands. What do you think? I mean, Colonel's got to go for it here, correct?
I think so. Trailing 21-0, the Red Devils have put a score on the board in each quarter of the ball game. The Colonels need 3 scores just to tie this thing. Now, whether they run up the middle or try to run outside, I'm not sure.
And you could always change the snap count, lengthen it, go with the hard count here. Let's see what Malbach decides. He's a little bit closer. He's only about 3.5 yards behind the center.
Red Devils crowd the middle of the line of scrimmage.
They hand it off to Montague. He's got the first and more. He's across the 45. Now the 50. Cuts back to his right at the 40. He's getting strung out by some defenders. He's all the way down to the Rustburg 35-yard line. How about some good medicine right when you need it by the powerful running of number 2, Jonathan Montague.
Or off the right side that time and dragging tacklers with him downfield. Montague tried to juke one man, didn't have any luck, but he did continue on downfield after being hit.
That's huge for the Colonels. They convert a 4th down there. Fresh set of downs with 11:45 left to play in the English's fourth quarter. They trail 21-0, but driving here in the early stages of the final period. Pass play complete to Jacob Adams. He fakes inside, then goes outside. Lowers the shoulder at the 29, then thrown down by number 1, Laverne Jenkins, and number 55, Colton Ashby. That's a solid 8-yard gain on the first down throw from Mateo Malbach to Jacob Adams.
Good run by Adams after the catch, as the Colonels need to put the ball in the air here to make up this 3-touchdown deficit.
Malbach marshals the offense into place. Adams is the lone wide out here on the left side. There's 2 wide receivers to the right, a blocking back in the game behind right guard as well. Looks like Gilbert sharing the backfield with Mateo Malbach. Shotgun snap. No, they hand it off to Jonathan Montague. Montague uses the right stiff arm, now cuts it ahead, lowers the shoulder, hitting the thigh pad at the 25-yard line. He's across the first down stick. That'll be a fresh set of downs for the Altavista Colonels with 10:46 left to play in the fourth.
Montague delivering some punishment at the end of that run as he lowers the shoulder.
Gilbert now in the ball game at the running back position.
And a set of first downs for the Colonels driving downfield here early in the fourth quarter of play.
Far hash mark. They're in Rustburg territory, ball resting on the 24-yard line of the Red Devils. Colonels pull some linemen. They hand it off to Gilbert. Gilbert trying to get in behind one of them, but there's not a whole lot of room there, just a mass of bodies. Traquan Farmer was the blocking back. Stop is probably credited to the entire Rustburg defensive line there. Might have gave him a yard or more.
And just an update on the injured Altavista player before, and we have been unable to get the number. Unfortunately, the player was carried off in a stretcher to the Altavista ambulance crew here. We'll try to get an update for you as the ball game continues.
Yeah, I tried just going process of elimination and seeing, well, who's not out there. Sometimes that's difficult, particularly when all the jerseys are moving around. Option play to the left. Malbeck pitches it out. Gilbert with nowhere to go. He stopped at the 25-yard line. That play took a little while to develop. And the Colonels now will be faced with another 3rd and long situation. They say Gilbert got it back to the line of scrimmage. And I would think that if they don't get it here, the Colonels probably going to have to go for it on 4th down again, Dave.
Yeah, just about 9 minutes left in the ball game. That was a nice pitch from Malbeck to Gilbert, and the Rustburg Red Devils were ready for it.
Here comes 3rd and 10. Near hash mark. That's the left side for us. There's 3 receivers to the wide side of the field. 4 down linemen for the Red Devils. They rush. No blitzers. Malbeck wants to throw. Looking in the end zone for Adams. Adams nearly had it. He had his hands on it, and it was batted away by number 1, Laverne Jenkins, who you have to say has done a nice job covering the athletic Adams all night. Jacob had a chance to reel it in there right at the goal line, but it was swatted away by some crafty Rustburg defense.
Good defense by the Red Devils on that play. Unfortunately for Altavista, they could have used a score there.
4th and long coming up. 4th and 10, rather. 8:55 left to play. The clock stops after the incomplete pass. Colonels trail 21-0. Make or break time here midway through the 4th quarter. Nearly midway through the 4th quarter. It's a quarterback draw. Malbeck spinning at the 20-yard line, lunging forward to the 1st down marker, but he's not there. It's not enough. It's a turnover on downs for the Altavista Colonels. Another very nice drive, Dave, that just can't result in any points.
Good defense. Malbeck did have an opening on the right side, but the Red Devils shut it down there as he moved upfield, and he comes up short of the 1st down. And so the Rustburg Red Devils will take over here. They just need to play ball control.
Talk about the bend but don't break from defense from Rustburg, Dave. They give up the fumble. They give up the turnover. They give up a lot of yards. They let the Colonels march down the better part of the field, but they managed to keep Altavista off the scoreboard. Running play on 1st down here for Rustburg. Ball carrier is just continuing to drive. Colonels were all over him, so I haven't seen a jersey number just yet. It was good gang tackling from Matt Aiken and Christian Gilbert. I think Traquan Farmer was in there as well. Believe it was number 6, the key man, Shamar Johnson, on the run.
Took 4 Colonels to bring down Johnson that time for Rustburg. Brings up 2nd down with Rustburg leading 21-0.
Red Devils ready to scrimmage here from the far hash mark on 2nd and 3. Running play again for Johnson. Johnson out of the grasp of an arm tackle, trying to turn it upfield and does so successfully. He's down at the 35-yard line. Good blocking out on the perimeter by the receivers from the Red Devils. We probably haven't commented on that. We've talked about the good O-line from Rustburg, but the receivers blocked too. And they blocked quite successfully.
So the Colonels here will try to stiffen and get the ball back on downs, but they're running out of time. Colonels have had some breakaway plays in the previous game, but the Red Devils defense is just too fast tonight.
Jonathan Montague had the nice long run on 4th down, but the Red Devils secondary recovered to bring him down before he could house it. Colonels have 4 down linemen at the moment. Here's a running play from Shamar Johnson. He goes outside, dodges the first tackler, turns it up the alleyway at the left side. Numbers there, hit hard on the far sideline and strung out of bounds. I believe it was Riley Bradley on the tackle, and also Mateo Malbeck on the stop for the Altavista Colonels. They trail 21-0. It's a Rustburg lead.
One of the Colonels had their hands on Johnson as he turned the corner over on the far side there, but he just ran through that tackle and picked up another 10 yards.
Red Devils have led this entire ball game. If you joined us late, they've scored 1 touchdown in each of the first 3 quarters. They've all come from the quarterback, Dante Jones. They've all come on the ground. They've all come from close range. 2 of them capped off long 74-yard drives. Red Devils break the huddle, split 3 receivers out to the wide side of the field. That's the right. Jones in the crouch, takes the snap, hands it off. Running back turns up the middle, pile of bodies, hard to identify the tackler or the ball carrier because there's so many folks around, and it's a 10-yard pickup. Should be a first down gain on the first down run from Shamar Johnson.
Colonel's having trouble making tackles here late in the ball game. Rustburg just running pretty much at will. It takes several Colonels to bring down one ball carrier. And I got an injury update here when we get a second, Kyle, on the Colonels. It looked like it was Dylan Herring who might have been the injured player that was taken off.
It makes sense. Number 73, Dylan Herring, is a important member of that offensive line. We thought it was a lineman, and we send our thoughts out to Herring and hope that he is okay. The first down run will net 2.5 yards for Rustburg. Back to your previous point, it is becoming harder and harder for the Colonels to tackle. I think that speaks to the fact that the Rustburg offense has worn down Altavista a little bit.
Yeah, the Altavista defense has been out there a lot tonight as the Rustburg Red Devils have used a good ground game to seal this victory.
Well, and when you're on your heels a lot, that doesn't make it any easier at all. Here's a running play again on second down. Trey Tucker out of a tackle. Jersey tackle will throw him down, though, at the 14-yard line. That was Mateo Malbeck. He grabbed him by the jersey, thought he was going to get him about 5 yards previous to that, but Tucker's momentum carried him all the way down inside the 20, inside the 15 to the 12-yard line.
A touchdown-saving tackle by Malbeck that time as Tucker had broken free, and luckily Mateo was still back there for the tackle.
Chalk up another first down, though, for the Red Devils.
As they keep pounding on the Colonels' defense here, the Colonels with their hands on their hips look a little weary.
Colonels D could use another turnover. That's about the only thing at this moment that might keep them in this ball game with 5:24 left to play. Handoff play again goes to Tucker. Tucker got down low and made the defense have a hard time finding him. He stopped around the 6-yard line, called a 5-yard gain for Trey Tucker. 5:12 left to play in the English is Your Complete Home Center fourth quarter.
Tucker's only 5'8". He's just a freshman, but yeah, he gets in behind those big linemen, and you got to look for him.
It's 21-0 Colonel deficit, pardon me. Done that a few times tonight. Maybe the Colonels being undefeated has tricked me into thinking that they're on top, but they have trailed this entire ball game. Shotgun snap coming up for Rustburg. Running play again on second down. They can get a first down without getting a touchdown. It looks like the Colonels have just kept them out of the end zone. Call it a first down, and they'll spot this ball probably on close to the 1-foot line.
And it was Tucker who tried to go up the middle there, found no room and bounced it to the outside. Fortunately, the Colonels were able to keep him out of the end zone, but it might be inevitable.
First and goal from, let's say, the 1-foot line here. 4:19 left to play in the fourth quarter. 21-0, Rustburg leading at the moment. Play clock down to 7 seconds. But the Red Devils certainly in no hurry here. Here comes the snap. Here comes the handoff. Tucker hit hard as he spun around. Colonels D got in the backfield nicely there.
The Colonels do a good job of acquitting themselves there on defense to drive Tucker back for a loss. Hit just about the same time he got the handoff.
Good job. Get some penetration there for the Altavista Colonels. Call it second and goal from the 4-yard line now for Altavista, or for Rustburg, pardon me. It's on the Altavista 4-yard line. But the Red Devils turned away for the moment. They're taking some time signaling the play in. And again, why wouldn't you with a 21-0 lead and 3.5 minutes left to play in the ball game?
Just milk the clock here and run things out with a comfortable lead.
Jones going to keep it himself. Student body right play. Jones surging for the end zone. He's in. Fourth touchdown of the game for Dante Jones. This time from 4 yards out. He has scored 4 touchdowns on the ground for the Rustburg Red Devils. They lead 27-0. Extra point pending with 3:15 left to play in the ball game.
Well, we talked all night about Dante Jones and his size, a hard man to bring down, a well-built football player, and he's got the skills to go with it. And that proves out well for Rustburg.
Total package. It's like a fullback carrying the ball as a quarterback, and he can pass, he can run, he can play defense, he does it all. The extra point is true. It's a 28-0 advantage for Rustburg. Last chance coming up for the Altavista Colonels. 3:15 left to play in the fourth quarter on 105.5 KD Country.
English is
so much more.
English is
more than a hardware store.
English is.
My friends may call me the perfectionist, but at English's Building Supply, my neighborhood Davis paint dealer, they greet me by name. You see, I like to get things done exactly right, especially when it comes to my many painting projects. So I'm at English's Building Supply a lot, whether it's mixing the perfect Davis paint for my project or offering great incentives. They do business just the way I like it, perfectly. English's on North Main Street, Altavista.
More live high school sports action on 105.5 KD Country.
Dante Jones, the star of the show for the Rustburg Red Devils, but certainly not without a supporting cast. This offensive line for Rustburg, Dave, has been great. They've really created some holes and just a flat-out surge up front for Jones to work with, and the other ball carriers for Rustburg, too.
Wearing the Altavista defense down, the ball control offense of Rustburg has proved to be a big factor in tonight's game. The Red Devils coming in, of course, looking to even up this series with Altavista. The Colonels were leading 2-1, but it looks now like the Red Devils will come out victorious and even up this latest series of Rustburg Altavista football.
Seems like that will change. Looks like Altavista is going to fall to 3-1 on the season. Rustburg will improve to 3-1 on the season. Here's the return by Christian Gilbert. Never really got going full speed, but he did get it to the 30-yard line.
Nice shoe-sting tackle by the Rustburg defense there to bring him down, just not letting Gilbert get to the outside of the field.
Probably going to end up being the Colonels' last possession of the football game. I suppose if you had a quick score here, a long 70-yard run on first down, then the Colonels might onside kick, try and get the ball back, those sort of things. And certainly you're holding out hope for that if you're a Colonel player or coach.
Malbeck in there at quarterback, getting the play in from the sidelines. The Colonels get one last receiver over to the far side of the formation.
3:08 left to play in the ball game. Stick around for the Subway post-game show. Dave and I will talk about this one, get you some scores, and get you ready for what's next. It's a bye week for the Altavista Colonels. Malbeck looking for Chancellor Mormon on the out route near the far sideline. Did the ball hit the turf? Not a real solid signal from the official. They will say it's incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Yep, they're throwing the ball back to the original line of scrimmage, but yeah, we got no signal over there that time.
28-0, the Rustburg advantage. And continuing in the trend, Dave, they've scored once in every quarter. How organized there for Dante Jones and the Rustburg offense. He's something, isn't he? We've seen a lot of good players in our time, and I'm going to throw Jones right up there with it. We'll save some of those accolades for the Subway postgame show, but he's a good one. Gilbert on the first down carry, mashed in the backfield as he was getting started, hit hard by number 40, Simondre Ferguson on the tackle. First man on the stop, helped out by Jason Ruff.
Defense coming in there through the Altavista line, offensive line, and tackling Gilbert in the backfield. So no gain on the play. Colonels were lucky that it wasn't worse.
3rd and 10. Colonel shuffle some personnel in there. New player is number 24, Jaden Gilbert. They'll go with 4 wide receivers, 3 of them to the right, 1 lone wide out here to the left. That's Jordan Spinner. Spinner actually started the Colonels' offensive night with a catch in the first quarter. And Malbeck has had a nice night throwing the ball, make no mistake about it. His best passing game of the year so far. Tried to run that one and got just outside the tackle box before he was thrown down by a couple Rustburg defenders. First man on the scene was number 9, Colton Cunningham.
The Rustburg defense just keeps coming after you.
Clock rolling. We're under 2 minutes to play in the ball game. I think Mike Sharness maybe debated going for it there, but why risk giving the Red Devils the football with such great field position and an easy chance to add to the scoreboard? They'll punt it away with 1:43 left to play in the fourth quarter.
Smart thing to do here late in the game.
Malbeck making sure all the personnel were out there on the punt team. They were not. Riley Bradley heads in. And it looks like the Colonels have run out of time. It's a delay of game on Altavista. That'll stop the clock with 1:26 and back Altavista up 5 more yards.
And I think that might be the first penalty tonight against Altavista.
Well, hold that pen, Dave. It looks like the Colonels called a timeout before the penalty was assessed, and they do have one more remaining after this. So Mike Sharnas probably figuring, hey, I've got the timeout. We're
Can't take it with you.
Yeah, we're under 90 seconds in the ball game. It's not going to be a win for Altavista. Might as well call it, discuss it, make sure they get the personnel right, and kick this thing away. I mean, you still got to play hard. That's always a point of pride for coaches like Mike Sharnas. And his players reflect that always. It's been an interesting rivalry because of the fact that Mike Sharnas did used to coach at Rustburg and was so successful there. Won state championship in 2000, a state champion runner-up in 1998.
Had a chance to do both those games, enjoyed it immensely.
That was. I remember those. A lot of fun. Good rolling kick here from Mateo Malback. Takes a slight Colonel bounce, covered up by Traquan Farmer, and the rest of the Colonels follow suit right behind. Yeah, it's Red Devils had one state championship before Mike Sharnas got there. 92, I think. Maybe 93. I'm going to have to go back and think of that's dipping in there a little bit in the history book. But it's always been a good football town, and Mike Sharnas really probably took them to new heights at Rustburg. And as I mentioned, heights not really equaled since he left, but he would be the first to downplay that. He would be the first to say it's not about me, it's about the players and the other people as well.
An Altavista program, glad to have him. He's turned this football program around, had some good athletes coming through at one time, and really has given Altavista the spotlight as far as football is concerned to go along with its accolades in basketball.
No doubt about it. A state championship in 2009, back-to-back state championships in 2013 and 2014. Plenty of success in between. Even last year was a down year for Altavista, but they still won as many games as most ball clubs would consider a successful year. They had a playoff shutout in the first round, which says a lot. Here's a running play on first down for Rustburg as Dave and I digress a little bit in the waning stages of this ball game. A game that was really, again, very competitive. I hate to use the cliche, closer than the scoreboard indicates, because it is cliche, but in this case, I think it's true.
And another Altavista player down on the field. And see a couple of Altavista players on the bench here, and that usually is where they end up when the injury bug has hit them.
This looks like Stephen Farmer limping off the field this time. He was banged up earlier, but he got back in there. And
yeah,
you're right. It's a hard-hitting Rustburg ball club. You know, this is normally what we talk about, how the other team looks after playing Altavista. It looks like a MASH unit over there, and in this case, the tables have been turned. This is a hard-hitting Rustburg bunch. I think back to those Honaker teams and those Hayside teams, and Essex certainly was a hard-hitting ball club, but this Rustburg team ranks right up there, Dave.
Last play of the game.
Probably. Handoff play goes up the middle. Ball carrier from Rustburg going to drag some players with him. Now the football came out. Fumble on the play just beyond the 50-yard line at the 48.
Let's see who got it.
It'll stop the clock with 33.6 seconds left. Officials say the Red Devils got it back. So now the clock will restart. And it looks like they're going to have to run one more play. They could take a knee or maybe just another sort of generic run up the middle. 2 wide receivers to each side. The Red Devils are going to improve to 3-1. Colonels fall to 3-1 here in Week 4. It's a bye week next week for Altavista. And there the ball carrier is slung down to the turf at the 40-yard line, and that will do it. Rustburg 28, Altavista 0. The Subway post-game show on the way when you return to 105.5 KD Country.
Napa know-how. You don't need an air-conditioned steering wheel or high-performance supercharger to use Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil. Now just $5.79 a quart at Napa. Mobil 1 offers premium protection for all cars. Premium or not so premium. So give your ride Mobil 1 synthetic. Just $5.79 a quart. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer expires 9/30/16.
Brought to you by Napa of Altavista, proud supporter of the Altavista Colonels.
Good food, low prices, and great service keep customers coming back for more day after day at El Cazador Mexican Restaurant in Altavista. El Cazador is now open all afternoon, so you can come by anytime, any day. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, a great place to unwind and relax with friends. Open 7 days a week. Main Street, Altavista. El Cazador, the happiest place in town, thanks you for your business and making them the #1 Mexican restaurant in town.
PCM Industrial of Altavista offers mobile welding and repair services, fully equipped service trucks, and certified craftsmen, and quick response to satisfy your needs. Contact PCM Industrial at powerconstruction.com. PCM Industrial is a fully insured Class A licensed contractor, OSHA and MSHA compliant. PCM Industrial Services of Altavista wishes Coach Sharnes and the Altavista Colonels football team good luck in another winning season.
The town of Altavista is conducting surveys for the development of a community broadband system. Want faster speeds, better access at your home or office? Then take the survey. For more information, go to www.altavistava.gov or call the Altavista Office of Economic Development at 369-5001. 369-5001 to take the survey.
Back to the press box for high school sports on 105.5 KD Country.
Red Devils win 28-0. The Subway postgame show has arrived. I'm Kyle Haney. He is Dave Haney. A nice show, bend but don't break defense from the Rustburg Red Devils, and a very potent ground game gets them to 3-1 on the season. A 28-0 victory. We said it before, we'll say it again. One touchdown in every quarter for the Rustburg Red Devils. It was an efficient offense. It was an offense that kept it moving, not a lot of negative plays. They did turn the ball over once, but the Colonels, unfortunately, Dave, were unable to capitalize on the Red Devil turnover. Altavista drops their first ball game of the young 2016 season. It's the Subway postgame show. You eat fresh at 2 locations in Altavista. Main Street, and then, of course, inside the Walmart just off the Clarion Road, just off Route 29. That Walmart Subway is very convenient for out-of-town folks heading to the Altavista Walmart, and it certainly is an easy in and out there at the Altavista Subway location inside Walmart on Clarion Road. We'll take another time out here in the Subway post-game show. We'll get you some scores. We'll get you some discussion, and who knows what else. We'll have a good time here on a Friday night. So glad that you have joined us. It's a Rustburg Red Devil win on the road, 28-0 in Altavista on 105.5 KD Country.
Cremation service, a family serving family since 1905.
Life is full of opportunities to show someone we love them. One such opportunity is the funeral or memorial service. Finch and Finch helps you celebrate the relationships they shared.
Service, a family serving family since 1905.
How do we make a better sandwich at Subway? Our new chicken Caesar melt is a great example. We start with tender rotisserie-style chicken that's raised without antibiotics. Top it with a savory Caesar sauce and add melted provolone and a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese for a flavor that's so deliciously unique, it redefines what a better sandwich should taste like. The all-new chicken Caesar melt from Subway. Limited time only.
Tonight's game is brought to you by these members of the KD Country Sports Club.
It's El Cerrito in Altavista. Throw on a sombrero, shake your maracas. It's El Cerrito time. Authentic Mexican cuisine only El Cerrito can serve up.
The Medicine Shop in Altavista, your Carolina boot headquarters with all sizes and styles of Carolina boots. The Medicine Shop, a full-service pharmacy.
One Stop Mart, Main Street, Altavista, where gas is cheap, beverages are cold, and the chicken is kicking.
They're doing it right at the Dairy Freeze. Hot dogs, burgers, fries, and of course, ice cream. Dairy Freeze on Main Street, Altavista.
Radio Shack in Crystal Bay Pools, Altavista, serving your area since 1989 for swimming pool installations, chemicals, liners, and more.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical Virginia high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too.
Brought to you by English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg.
Your high school sports station with award-winning coverage on 105.5 KD Country.
Subway postgame show returns to the press box here at Altavista High School, our 54th season of covering high school sports on 105.5 KD Country. Great to be a part of that tradition. Great to be here with you on a Friday evening. The Rustburg Red Devils had a great trip, Dave. They win 28-0. 4 rushing touchdowns from Dante Jones. That's not all he did. He had some kind of bone-crushing hits out there on defense.
He plays both sides of the ball and definitely an all-conference kind of player as he made his presence felt tonight. The Rustburg Red Devils dealing out their fair share of punishment, all legal-like, as the battered and bruised Altavista Colonels will be off next week as they regroup and get ready for Nelson County, and I guess we go on the road for that one.
It's on the road in Lovingston to take on Nelson County, and you're right, that's in 2 weeks, and that's a positive to take away from this. It's obviously not the Colonels couldn't control when their bye week was, but it just so happens that if you are going to get dinged up a little bit in a hard-fought ball game, it's nice to have a week off to recover and get the Dogwood District schedule. Not that there's really a Dogwood District anymore, but get that schedule started. And that'll be nice for the Colonels to get back on their feet a little bit. They can take some time off next week, rest, and maybe give the Colonels a chance to make some changes. Again, I mean, nothing comes to mind about a change they really need to make because they made the changes that they wanted to make. They turned in a nice performance, a penalty-free performance, and a turnover-free performance too. The Rustburg defense was so strong.
What we thought was going to be critical to the game turned out not to really have a bearing on it. And as a matter of fact, as you said, no penalties for the Colonels, no turnovers. We thought that might be a key to win. Rustburg played really well, too, with very few penalties. They had a couple of turnovers, but just not enough to get the Altavista offense started tonight.
Yeah, the one turnover there, Christian Gilbert scooped up the fumble. They put the ball on the turf 1 or 2 other times, but got it back, and no major miscues there or blunders for Rustburg. They'd had a lot of penalties themselves, and they had a few, but I'm sure it was under their average. They didn't have that many penalties at all, really.
I had just, 3
2
or 4?
3, yeah. There you go.
Something like that. So, yeah, not too many.
Got to credit Jack Baker and his squad for making the adjustments that they needed to make. And Bob Alva sending us what could be possibly the stat of the night here, Dave. You ready for this?
Sure.
This is from our good friend Bob, who you can catch on WSET every now and then. Not every now and then, every Friday night. This is the first time that Rustburg has shut out a county rival, a Campbell County team, since November 10th, 2000, when they beat William Campbell, also by the score of 28-0. So
wow.
They haven't played Altavista that much. They've played them the last 4 years, of course. You know that. But that means they haven't shut out either William Campbell or Brookville since back in November of 2000. That's a nice stat there.
16 years.
Is that all?
That's all.
Some of these players weren't alive when that happened.
Well, you're right about that. That's pretty fascinating.
Last time the Colonels got shut out was in that second playoff game last year against Riverheads, but that Riverheads team shut out a lot of people last year. So
Didn't they go to the championship game?
They lost in the state championship to Galax last year. But we digress. It's the Subway post-game show. I'll get you some scores here in a moment. Forget it. Let's get some scores right now. Heritage is leading Gretna 56-13. They're in the late stages of the fourth quarter. Stanton River was starting to pull away from Jefferson Forest. They're up 40-30 right now. It's a Dan River win, 24-10 over Martinsville. It looks like the boys down there in Ringgold have another good ball club, and that'll be a team that Altavista has to face late in the season.
That'll be a tough one, too.
It certainly will. Let me find you a few more. EC Glass is tied with William Fleming 27-27. A good ball game there. Brookville was trailing Albemarle at last check by a touchdown. Let me just scroll here for just a few more seconds. Amherst got a big win, 49-7. And a few more that we'll keep an eye on and get to you. Let's take one more time out. Dave and I will bring it back with our picks for the players of the game, and then we'll wrap it all up and let you ride out into a cool September night. It was a 28-0 Rustburg win over Altavista. You heard all the action live on 105.5 KD Country.
No one knows trucks like we know trucks. Come see us and you'll agree. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC. Come on in, bring the family, see your friends at Highview Motors, GMC. From small to tall, we've got it all. Highview Motors, GMC.
Compassionate Care Choices, Autumn Care, 24-hour skilled nursing, inpatient, outpatient, physical, occupational, and speech therapies. Autumn Care invites you to tour their facility in 2016, receiving the bronze quality by the American Healthcare Association. 5-star rating by Centers for Medicare, Medicaid Services. Autumn Care, a member of Sabre Healthcare Group, serving Altavista and surrounding areas since 1989.
Altavista High School football is brought to you by Steve Farmer Auto Sales. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, where there's always a good selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs, and they're priced right with financing available. See Steve Farmer Auto Sales, 1112 Main Street, Altavista, the next time you get ready to make a change. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, best deals on wheels.
Introducing D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. A name you've grown to trust, Donnie Bryant is back with D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. As an American Standard dealer, D.L. Bryant Heating has the tools and the talent to handle all of your heating and cooling issues, large or small. Call 841-1580. That's 841-1580 for D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. Call 841-1580 for a name you can trust, Donnie Bryant and D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling.
Now back to the action with Colonel Sports on 105.5 KD Country.
One final segment of the Subway post-game show. Big shout-out to our sound engineer, Katie, who took the solo flight for most of the night. I know Elizabeth, Katie, and Eleanor helped get it going there in the early stages of our broadcast. But it was a fun night tonight. Not so much fun for the Colonel players and their fans, but a hard-fought game nonetheless. And I thought the Colonels showed great heart and great courage. They continued to play hard until the end there, and it was a 28-0 Rustburg Red Devil win. Gosh, how impressed are you with the Red Devils?
Very impressed. Dante Jones leading the way, and this Colonel's team ran into a tough night. But, the Rustburg Red Devils, offensively and defensively, their running game was very strong again this week, and on defense, they shut the Colonels down.
Impressive stuff for sure. That'll lead us right into our player of the game pick, and I don't think it's going to be difficult for the Rustburg Red Devils. I'll go first, and I think you'll second. Dante Jones, the senior quarterback, 215 pounds, 6'1". He's a heady player in addition to being an athletic player. He scored 4 times, once in each quarter. First one was from 2 yards out. Next one from 1 yard out. The other from 6, and the final from 4 yards out. So they were all short scoring strikes, but make no mistake about it, he racked up a bunch of yards getting them up and down the field. He had great help from his running backs, Trey Tucker and Shamar Johnson, and great help from the offensive line, great blocking there. But Dante Jones just has to be the player of the game pick for Rustburg.
I would second that. He handled the ball very well under center and played some great defense for Rustburg's Red Devils here tonight. So Rustburg fans have to come away happy with this victory, and I think Dante Jones leads the way. He's got a couple of good running backs to go with him, but the senior leadership that he provides, I think, probably under center keeps everybody else focused on what's going on.
Oh, no doubt about it. He's the kind of guy that, even if he never carried the ball, if he didn't have one carry a game, he would still bring a lot to that ball club. Like you said, the senior leadership controls the offense, throws the ball well when he needs to. They didn't need to put it in the air much tonight, and it was just an all-around nice performance from Dante Jones. On the other side, the player of the game pick for the Altavista Colonels. You and I thought about this one for a little bit. I'm going to go with Mateo Malbeck. He's the quarterback on the other side for the Altavista Colonels, and a nice defender too. He made a lot of tackles. He made a lot of shoestring, touchdown-saving type tackles, and clearly Mateo's best performance throwing the football here tonight. He's thrown some touchdowns already this year, and he's racked up some yardage with his arm, but tonight more confident passing, moved the pocket well when he needed to stand in the pocket. He did that, and he ran the football too some.
Yeah, sometimes in a loss it's a little harder to pick out who might be the player of the game, but I think a force on offense under center, of course, running the ball some, and also, like you say, the passing improved, and some big touchdown-saving tackles on defense, and, of course, he's out there punting the ball all the time. So
right.
Just all facets of the game all around, Mateo Malbeck should be the player of the game, not to overlook some other people that contributed tonight. But when it's a loss, sometimes it's a little harder to see who stands out.
I couldn't have said it any better myself there. You took some of the words right out of my mouth, although mine might not have been quite so elegant. Yeah, sometimes I question whether we should even still be doing the player of the game thing, because it seems like maybe you're leaving some people out because you can't just name 17 guys on the team.
Yeah.
But it is nice to point out some extra special performances, and I think it's good. Especially, you got to take your hat off to Dante Jones, man. I mean, that guy can play. He's a lot of fun to watch.
He would be a great quarterback on any team.
I agree. And how about this? A shout out to our good buddy Dave Walls, listening on his way back to the WSET studios. And we talk about, you can see Bob on Friday night. Well, you can see our friends Dave and our good buddy Dennis, and they do a great show. They'll have some highlights for this one, and it's nice that they could come down and give us a little bit of a shout out too. And hey, they're fans like we are. They're fans of us. We're fans of them. We're fans of the game. Why
well,
not?
Speaking of fans, I should give a shout out to Hank Fraser. Talked to him yesterday. He's probably sitting out on the back porch enjoying the cool weather and listening to the play-by-play of the game. And that's one of the fun things you can do with radio, is just kind of kick back and relax and enjoy the radio broadcast. And we appreciate everybody who listens to our broadcast all season long. And thanks to our sponsors who help make this broadcast possible. We hope you'll thank them for their support of Altavista football. And there is a long list of Colonel sponsors.
There is. Let's get right to it. We really wouldn't be here without these people's support, and go in there and thank them. Or, as our good friend Bob says, best thing to do is just go in there and buy something. People like Autumn Care of Altavista, specializing in 24-hour skilled nursing care. D.L. Bryant Heating and Cooling. Call Donnie at 841-1580. That's 841-1580. Highview Motors GMC. From small to tall, Highview has it all. Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, a family serving families since 1905. The Altavista Office of Economic Development. We invite you to come find one of a kind and fill out the broadband survey on the internet. PCM Industrial Services, now with mobile welding and repair services. Tyree Little's Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer, warm in the winter, and comfortable in between. Very comfortable out here on a September evening. The Moose Family Center. Visit the Moose Family Center to join and be a Moose. The the El Cazador on Main Street in Altavista. I started thinking about the Huevos Rancheros, and I couldn't even remember what I was doing, Dave. Altavista's original Mexican restaurant.
I know it's your favorite.
It really is. Also, English Construction, wishing our high school athletes an exciting and injury-free game. Steve Farmer Auto Sales, best deals on wheels. Napa Auto Parts of Altavista. Find your Napa know-how on Main Street. English's, your complete home center, now offering a complete line of Carhartt clothing for men. The fall Carhartt gear is in at English's. First National Bank, helping you bring home more bacon. And Fellers Chevrolet, offering a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. This has been a lot of fun hanging out with you again, Dave Haney. Come back anytime. We'll see if we can get Oscar back on the mend and in the press box with us at Nelson County. That's in 2 weeks. Colonels are off next week.
And well-deserved rest coming their way as they'll try to get back in their winning ways at Nelson County. But they're about ready to put out the lights here, Kyle.
They're going to put us out in a second, where they're going to at least make us pay rent here if we don't watch it. We'll say so long. It was Rustburg 28, Altavista 0. Thanks so much for tuning in to 105.5 KD Country.